All right, welcome to CAF Update 206, but who's counting? It is Thursday, August 8th in the year of the Lord 2024, and I've got a lot of people back here already. I'm looking, one of them isn't back down the stairs yet, so we're not sure if he's got pants on, so we're gonna wait a second on him. And one of them screen's blank. Well, let's worry about that later. All right, who's showing up? Let's do 20 minutes of calling out everybody in the chat. How you doing, ML? 60-minute update. No, we might go to about 100 minutes tonight. We got a couple of talkers for the top 10 thing. West Coast, hey Dave. Jason Ladwig, hello evening, folks. Jeff Wedding is everywhere. Oranga, Mr. Easy Go Lucky, hello. Not the Ron Lim, but just as talented Ron Lim. Hello, Tom, Marvel fan, who's watches more stuff than me. Don't tell anybody. Stingray, what's up? George, well, I can see George everywhere as well. And I'm trying to fill time in a really bad way. Tim Guerrero, Marcus, Peter, hi guys. Billbot, don't do it. Castro, Jiggy. Hey, Jiggy, what's up? I'm going to bring these guys in, though. Let's see. What order should I bring them in? I'm going to order them from my favorite to my least favorite. Let's start with this guy. I love this guy.
You are clearly lying. I'm going from least favorite.
All right,
to
who's
favorite.
next? Who's next? We got some Lebanese power here, I think. Am I right about that?
Half Lebanese, yeah.
Well, the right half. There you go. Then we got Maestro,
yes.
KG.
The real KG.
Not
real
the original,
KG,
but the real. That's right.
Yes, that's right.
And my least favorite, far and away, but the most important. Why don't we do that? Let's bring him in. Big Phil. How you doing, Big Phil?
My feelings are hurt. I wanted to match Khalil with the white tea. I had to get the fresh white tea out the bag, rip it fresh out the bag.
Yeah, yes.
Fresh out the bag.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming on. It's a lot. I know it's a lot of you in a short term to ask you. And I am not feeling that great. So I know there's some talkers in this group. The biggest thing is Big Phil's been working on a project for a long time that's blown us all away, that we all wanted to get involved with, and he was nice enough to let us get involved. But he's been putting together this show at the August Wilson African American Cultural Center in Pittsburgh for a while, and I can't wait to find out what happened. I haven't asked him a thing about it. I just seen pictures on Facebook. So rather than me, describe it and all that, BP, Black Panther, Big Phil, you do it, please.
It was everything that it was supposed to be. I'll put it like that. It was well worth putting in the work. I'm just happy to have been one of the artists at the August Wilson Center and being able to have this opportunity, and it was just great. And I mean, to have George and Khalil and Sean and my man Robert to come through and just to be in the building, it was that made it special. And of course my family, but to see these brothers come through, I really appreciate it. So It was great.
Well, tell us a little bit about the show now. How many pieces of art did you end up with? And I know there was talk about you premiering the documentary there, or at least whatever cut of the doc that you've got right now in your hands, right? And it looked like from some of the photos that happened.
Yeah. So what happened was I did a shorter version, like a 50-minute piece. Actual film's like over 2 hours. There's so much, so I had to figure out what pieces I was going to show there as well. But it was just, I'll say this: seeing all of that artwork in one place was amazing. That to have it just displayed for the people to see, and the fact that hasn't been done like that anywhere else. I mean, OAX, of course, you have all this artwork there. That's a totally different animal. But that stuff there's for sale and it's for dealers and whatever. But this was just for the general public to come and see all this historically, culturally relevant Black pieces in one place. even when I sat there and I walked in, you know, even though I helped put it, I put stuff on the wall. I'm helping doing this and, framing things and everything else. But for me to actually walk in and to see it completed it was amazing. It was an amazing feeling.
Now, we got Khalil and George and Jeff here for a reason. All three of them had a role in the art in the show, and
For sure.
Guys, now I know Khalil, you and George were there as well. Speak up, say what you want. Do what you do. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll give Big Phil some credit, and I also start with a plug, right? So if you're in Pittsburgh or anywhere near, make sure to come by and check the exhibition out. It'll be there through January 12th, right?
And can I say something before Khalil goes into his spiel real quick?
I guess.
Because Khalil wanted to look like me today and put this T-shirt on after he saw me with this shirt on. But
yeah,
it's this show with these three individuals that y'all see right now. Y'all sending me your pieces and being so unselfish about it. It took it up a whole nother level. And once again, I want to thank y'all for that, because it was just. I still sit back. I went there a couple of days ago, and I sat there and I just walked around and I just looked at everything. You know what I'm saying? Like the quiet without having a lot of people there, and it was just me sitting there watching, and it was just a totally, different experience. And I got a chance to look around. I'm just like, wow, this shit is crazy. So if I keep thanking y'all, I apologize. It's just the way that I was raised, but I really do appreciate y'all that, it's something special for y'all to do that.
Thank you. I can speak for us. We're all happy to help, man. It was there was a lot, right? You went up to the very end in terms of getting art, getting interviews and all that. So I know this is just the beginning, right? So for me, I wanted to say what was really neat about this. So the August Wilson Center, right? It's a center for the, celebrating the arts, the African-American contribution to the arts. And so what's neat about the big thing for me about being, when I was there and I was lucky enough to be on a panel with Phil and Sean Martinborough, was a lot of folks that are there and that go there, they enjoy and like the arts, right? So it was just neat to know that we're introducing this stuff that we all know, like, and get to a new audience that enjoys the arts, right? So those, folks have no idea what this, this narrative stuff that we all enjoy and have for years is. And so it was neat just talking to folks about that and getting questions around, the history of this stuff, Black creators, comics in general, even knowing and seeing that there's one of a kind original art. I mean, it was very cool to see and feel the positive reception I feel like we got from folks on that first night. So definitely. Man, yeah, I applaud you. It was a hell of a endeavor to start up, right? I mean, it's not as if you got prompted or pushed or assigned or hired to do this.
Right.
Something you're starting up on your own. And so I was just happy to help where I could. And as far as loaning some pieces, and I know we got some more interviews, some folks at Heritage, and I think that we'll be seeing at some point here pretty soon. But
yes,
yeah, man, it was a great night. I'm glad my wife and I, Terry, were able to make it. And George, I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, I'll add. There was art not just from us collectors, from the collector side. There was art from Larry Stroman there. Pieces I don't know that anyone has ever seen publicly. There was art from Sean Martinborough. Sean was also there in person. I got the impression he doesn't sell his art, so I don't know that anyone's ever seen that art in person ever before. Beautiful high contrast work, and super charismatic guy. The Q&A that you guys did after the film, I thought was awesome. The way he kind of went in there and helped guide some of the Q&A, kept it lively. I think in addition to the artwork, there was also Golden Age comics, Silver Age comics, Bronze Age comics, just some really cool books, really cool history, stuff I had never seen in person. So it was a special multimedia event with the film, live or DJ later in the night, artwork, comics,
everything.
Yeah, it was a special night, man.
Thank you. And I will say this too, you know, with Sean Martinborough, and I apologize for interrupting. When I look at his artwork, when it's not colored, his inks are crazy. Like, and I feel like a lot of times with a lot of artists, we get it, but a lot of artists, the color looks really dope, but there's certain artists, when you see their black and white style, it's like, ooh, this is amazing. And I feel like when you see his black and white, like you said, he doesn't sell his pieces at all. And, you know, I was lucky to have a whole wall full of his stuff. But when you see some of those pieces in black and white, and he does his inks, they're amazing. And Stroman shit is just crazy too. And I've been sitting on some Stroman stuff that nobody has ever seen before either. And it's unreal.
Yeah. What was cool too, Phil, is that you had a nice, you know, a lot of varied pieces in terms of, you know,
right.
We consider more sketchy, loose, unfinished, commission type stuff to like covers from the 90s that, you know, have the actual lettering and bubbles on the pieces.
For sure.
To, you know, variant covers for today, to, you know, seeing the blue line and the black ink over it. So those spurred questions. And I think you even had on the first level, you had a couple of pieces where there's the art and then there's the comic next to it.
For sure.
A couple folks said they liked seeing that because it kind of reframed things a little bit. Like they're getting it, but then when they see the published thing right next to it, they're like, ah, okay, yes. You know, so I think the setup was pretty, the setup was nice. You got a nice amount of space there. I liked how open it was. So yeah, I mean, if anyone's near Pittsburgh, you got some time here to check it out for sure.
I'm with Jason, by the way. KG, I can't believe your Wi-Fi is working as good as it is. I've never seen this before. Yeah. And Jeff Wedding, hero level with Jeff too, last second, sending in a whole bunch of art. Jeff, did you get that strip art in as part of the package? Did that end up going out?
Yeah. So I had, of course, some Star Wars pieces, both by Black creators and featuring Black characters. But Lance Suarez actually gifted me a couple of Maury Turner Wee Pal strips at San Diego last year. Maury Turner, contemporary of Charles Schultz and Bill Keane, first American syndicated, ethnically, racially integrated cast of characters in a syndicated comic strip. So I was more than happy to put together a last minute package and get it off to Pittsburgh the week before, because it was sort of, I was the 11th hour contribution there.
Yeah.
But I just want to take my opportunity, since I haven't met Phil in person yet, to just sing his praises a bit. You know, as an anthropologist by education, an archaeologist by training, and an historian by birth, you know,
that's a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt. I like that. Say, I'm using that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
There you go. The work that I do, often there's holes, and whether that's the archaeological record did not preserve, you know, different ethnic groups. It didn't preserve the history of what's going on between the sexes, or whatever. We're blind to certain populations and certain communities when we're doing our research. And ultimately, and part of it's from working with Native American tribes out here in the West so much, those stories end up having to be told and prepared by the folks themselves. And that's exactly what Phil has done. I mean, Phil's a collector. You know, Phil is one of us. You know, we build relationships with the artists that we follow.
Right.
And at some point, if the story is going to be told, it's got to come from within. And Phil just picked up that banner and ran with it. And so I'm looking forward to trying to get to Pittsburgh sometime between now and January. I hope the exhibit in some form stays together and gets to travel and go to other places. Can't wait to see the documentary. And I think this needs to be a coffee table book at some point to get this info down on paper, so that future generations will be able to preserve what you've got started here.
Well, since you let I've been working on a coffee table book on the low. I've been kind of trying to keep that, you know, but that's one of my things. I've been kind of arranging with images and things of that nature. But that's something, you know, that that I'm looking forward to. And I appreciate the kind words. You just gave me like the greatest quotes for like when I do like one of my next video pieces. I'm gonna throw like these quotes up with your name underneath it, and it's gonna look real good. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, when you're ready for the book, Constro and I'll do the forward.
Let's get it.
There you go. There you go.
Let's do it.
Yep.
I got some photos cobbled together from a whole bunch of different places, and I couldn't prepare slides in time, but they're kind of in an order, and they're kind of big enough. I think that looks okay on the screen.
Yeah,
here.
we can see it.
Yeah,
As you're jumping in, can I just say how cool a city Pittsburgh is?
Come on, man, talk that shit. Tell the truth.
You'll kind of get it from some of these pictures, but I hadn't been to Pittsburgh in ages. There's so much art, good food. Like, it's a walking town. Sean, I think the first thing he did when he got to town was he got one of the city bikes and just explored. Like,
yeah.
So if you're thinking about going, tip it over the edge with, you can spend several days there if you wanted to.
So
we were in the strip district on Saturday. So yeah, that was night. Yeah, a lot of cool folks, a lot of cool shopping, drinks, eats, all that.
Yeah. And we went out to eat on Friday. I think I fell asleep outside.
I wasn't going to mention that.
It was late. And yes, you did. Yes, you did.
You put that much energy into the show. You deserve to fall asleep on Friday night.
Exactly.
I didn't get any sleep for 3 days. I may have gotten 2 hours of sleep because I was doing so much. I was laser focused. So when I got to the place, I literally got to the place and we started the film. Like my eyes red.
You're used to that though. DJs and doctors don't sleep.
We don't sleep. And I remember we were sitting there eating, and Cash, when they come around the corner, we're all eating. My family's like, we were out there kind of deep, and I just remember just doing like this, ooh, and got back and it was like time to go. So, but it was a good time though.
It was a good time.
So guys,
you mentioned probably 15 times that night that you didn't get a chance to get a cut.
I didn't get a. Oh man, I was sick. Let me tell you something, Cash. I was sick that I didn't get a haircut. I let everybody know. First thing I said was, "Listen, y'all didn't get a cut, so y'all just gonna have to excuse me."
just next time, get a piece of string and a sign, put it around your neck. A little bit easier.
That might work. That might work.
August 24th, guys. West Coast Avengers is going to be there for a week because August 24th is the Piscor family is putting on the Eddie P Con in Pittsburgh. So there's reason for some of us to be there. Collections in Black and Eddie P Con that day. A lot of people are coming in from that. I might try to come in too. I'll let you know, Big Phil.
Please.
But look at this is a major cultural institution.
It is.
This is, a history, a city with a long history of African-American contribution in culture, particularly in the arts and in theater, feeding into film. And here it is. This is how beautiful this building is. This is the outside views here. There's just a few shots from the outside to give you an idea how it's nestled into the city. I kind of winged it. I just assumed some of the order here, but you kind of guide us, guys. Or Phil, you take the lead. I'm sure, but
go to the next one. Go to the next one. There we go. Look at that. That is when you come in. I'll be honest. I sat there and I stared at that wall for a while. I just love looking at that piece, that has the Buffalo Soldier piece. Actually the Buffalo Soldier piece is literally the first conversation me and Khalil ever had, when I met him at OAX, nonetheless. Right. And he mentioned, you're the person with that piece. And I said, yeah, we had a conversation about that. And then I have, you also see the Joe Louis pieces that are there from 1941, which is
those are the ones that are in the arc to the right. That's the complete 5-page story there.
The complete 5-page story and the book as well.
And Phil, this is a great example of how the breadth of this exhibit. You've got a modern piece with Golden Age pieces on the same wall.
Yeah, and I did that on purpose too, brother. It's like, no, I mean, yeah, you're right. No, but it is though. I mean, for me, it's all art, and it's just I feel like it just tells the story. And it's just like, even when you look at some of the pieces, you sit back and you'll say, okay, well, that's not a key or whatever, but there's pieces that they're key moments. They're important moments. You have the one of Khalil's pieces is when T'Challa, the whole Black Panther piece and the Black Leopard, and there's a lot of other pieces. Oh, that's me standing without a haircut in front of the
Did you not get a haircut?
No,
I thought I read that in the press release.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, speaking to that variety, that's what I think I appreciate. I think others will too, right? Because to your point, I think with this art, like, okay, we all appreciate that, banger piece that's $200,000, that's from a book everybody knows. But I think we all appreciate the stuff that looks just as great, has a story behind it.
For sure.
Promoting our modern artists too, right? This, at the end of the day, this is stuff we look at. So I like that whole, Brian, that's what's cool is my wife actually made it to a comic related thing with me. So yeah, George's did too. So our wives got to talk for a while we were talking.
I was going to say, luckily they were there for each other for part of the night.
That's right. That's right.
But you know what though, too, the difference between this and say a Comic-Con or whatever, I don't mean to be rude, but this wasn't a nerdy event. Like, this was like a grown and sexy type situation. Like, everybody's there and it's just like, oh, this is dope. Okay, so this may be superhero stuff, but at the end of the day, people were, I think I presented in a way where people looked at it like in a different light. My whole thing is I wanted this artwork to be respected as fine art. And I think that, I kind of accomplished that as well. The Ken Lashleys and the Still Freezes are just as important as these other modern artists, if not more. So I think that was important. I think like you could go to this event and you're not going to be like, oh, I'm not going. This is for a bunch of nerds or weirdos. Like, as soon as you see it, you're all of a sudden you're transformed. Like, okay, this is what we're doing. And if you're a person who wants to cosplay and run around like Aquaman all day, you'll still get what you want out of this. Because we need both sides of that.
Well, the center, right? August Wills is named after a famous playwright, right? And he's
for sure.
Universally recognized as being one of the best playwrights of the last so many years. So just having, it be there, to your point, right? I don't like to use the word legitimacy because I think our stuff has that stuff, but you know what I mean? It's like what you're saying, right? It's not necessarily set up in a comic shop or this is at a cultural center for the arts. Right.
And I feel what you're saying, because even if it's at a comic shop, that doesn't take away from legitimacy.
Yes,
But it's just that when it's in a different space, you get a look, and you may get a look from a different lens. But then but you can also sit back to yourself and be like, well, I've been trying to tell you this. But sometimes people have to see it for themselves and see it in a different light, if that makes any sense.
Hey, Marcus, good point. So Phil wanted some color Stell Freeze, and I had this. I have some color Stell Freeze actually overseas. I won't get into that now, but that is my avatar piece. Yeah, right next to me, right there. So that's the piece that just personally is very important. It's my first meeting with him, kind of a gateway to some other pickups. And yeah, that's my avatar. So yeah, that's there.
I feel like a perfect tie-in to, there's a clip in the film with you, Phil, and Stell Freeze all talking. So it's cool to see this extra connection with the art as well to the person.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there's some cameos in the film, because I think, Phil, you guys filmed a lot at OAX. So there's some familiar faces in the background when you watch the film as well.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, I just, it's like, even now when I'm looking at this, it was funny because putting these pieces together, and I'm gonna give Khalil another shout out, because me and Khalil were talking, and one of the first things we said to each other was, he was like, man, we're not sending these pieces, man. We need to link up and exchange the pieces. We need to do this in person. We need, we need to get this on camera, or at least do this hand-to-hand situation. So going to the auction house, the Heritage, just happened to be at the right time. But regardless, we were going to make that, transaction like that. And I appreciate him for that. So,
well, so I don't want to steal any kind of thunder, but we got to spend some time with a couple of gentlemen at Heritage and talk about Matt Baker, who's a Pittsburgh native, and talk about some of the books, some of the art there, owned by some people there, including Mr. Halpern. So that was
and I think too with that, we saw some of the highest graded books. We saw like a whole entire story, was brought out to us.
And I didn't drop one. And I didn't drop one on the table or anything like that.
So first of all, he dropped the highest graded copy of one of the books.
The single on the census, right?
And I was just like, oh, this is crazy. But it didn't break or nothing like that. But it was a hilarious moment, and I didn't let that down. Like I made jokes about it for the rest of the day.
Yeah, but George, here's some of George's art. What I liked particularly, again, some variation, and on the left here you see some how George, right? On the collection you get music with the superheroes all together and the artist. So you can see Cowan Prince there on the left. DMC, you see that DMC Deviants cover there. You can speak to him, George, but obviously after the famous Steranko Hulk cover, Spider-Punk.
I was going to say, I love that. I did notice certain people gravitate to the Prince and DMC, because I think if you're not a comic head like some of us,
right,
you're looking for something to connect to.
Yes, there's other pieces of culture in there.
Yeah, I think it was a nice organic connection of like, oh, I kind of get what this is a little more for the non-comic folks. Yeah.
And I'll say this too: all the pieces aren't in there as of yet, because we're going to do some switching around. I'm going to do some themes since we're going till January. So the one thing I want to do is I want to give people reasons to want to come back in. Mm-hmm. So then this way I could say, okay, so this theme, I want to do a milestone theme at a particular point. And so, I have a bunch of the number 1s and 9/8s, and I have some pieces that we got in from y'all that we didn't display as of yet. And I want to do like a whole milestone piece. And then I got some of the platinum books. So before the comics came out, when they were going on like their milestone tour, they did like some platinum versions of the books, and they did like some I forget what they did, some other versions, and they're very rare, but I have some of those. So I'm gonna do like a whole milestone piece at a particular point too. So, and then I want to bring in guests. Like I want to shoot some things there. Yeah. So like even like when Cash, if you come in, that'll be a good time for us to film, for something that's coming up at some particular point. That would be a good time
we can talk about that. There might be some folks we can bring out, like you said, during the tenure, have a few more different event nights, right? We had the opening, but I think there's some more opportunity there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
For sure.
So here's where we can finally get a little bit of an idea of just a little bit of the space. And I'll bring up Dave's question, which Big Phil ignored when I asked. How many pieces were in the exhibit?
There's a lot. Shit.
A lot.
That's the answer.
That's like, in ancient society, original mathematics, it was 0, 1, and many. Yeah. And there were many pieces in the show, right?
There's many. So the answer is for you, you have to come and see for yourself.
Yes.
Because if I give you a number, the number doesn't do it justice to the experience.
The good news is he will be there in less than 2 weeks. Yeah.
And Kazra, I'll add, I know Khalil mentioned it. There's the main space that we're looking at now. There was also a smaller space when you first walk in the building.
2 floors.
Yep.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep.
Yeah, smaller space downstairs. Yeah.
And I feel like that
a much smaller exhibit. It's 10, 12 years ago now, with a local museum here in Las Vegas, featuring a locally published comic with Las Vegas stories in it that we then did an exhibit in a gallery on campus at UNLV. I think we maybe had 40 pieces. This is making my left eye twitch just thinking about marking and hanging all of these pieces and how much work that had to have been. So it's looking fantastic in the photos.
Yeah, and then we had that is true. Shout out to Fly Space, who the August Wilson Center had come out there and actually put the pieces up. As a matter of fact, if you get a chance to see the graffiti mural we did for Collections in Black, the one sister who did Storm also works for Fly Space. So the girl who did Storm on the mural was actually one of the people who framed and put things up in the exhibit as well. It was just crazy how that worked out.
Hey, Phil, can you speak to this? I think this is kind of interesting for folks to hear because you're dealing with the August Wilson Center. It's their first time thinking about superhero. I remember emailing with Kim. So Kim was working with Phil at August Wilson in terms of, setting things up, paperwork, and, we had to work through and whatnot. But she was like, so how big are they? Do they come in frames? Is it just a single piece of paper? Because she's thinking like they could be this big. It could be canvas. So it was kind of interesting. So I was just, because her world, their world is thinking more in terms of traditional museum, kind of space, right? So what was that like? Because there was an education aspect, and and naturally it had to happen. But what was that like? Because this is new. This is new.
So it's So it was interesting because what happens is that, and it's funny that you said that, Brother Khalil, because it's like you said, for them, this is new for them and it's new for me. Mm-hmm. But we all know that this comic art doesn't all come in the same size. It doesn't. It can be on. Man, they may draw the shit on a paper bag and we're going to buy it or whatever. And it's just when you're explaining to them, you have to educate first, and it's kind of hard for them to grasp it until they actually see it. And actually not actually see it, but when it's actually in there. Yeah. Because just explaining, oh, this is a page, they may think a page is the actual comic book page, not the original art page. Or you're explaining what a splash page is, what a cover is, what a graded comic is, what a raw book is, pencils, pens, blue lines, and it's an original art versus. So for me, the thing that I prided myself on is that I wanted my thing to be all original art. Right. I didn't want any copies. I didn't want any facsimiles, because when you go to other exhibits and other museums, you see a lot of copies, and you don't necessarily see the original art. And this is something that I prided myself on. But I think sometimes some of that gets lost in translation, because the vernacular is similar, but it doesn't necessarily mean the same, if that means anything. So there was a little button heads at points in time, but I think we got it together. But like you said, when you're explaining something, you think that they automatically understand, but you got to sometimes take a step back and have to say, no, this is what this is. This is 11 by 17. It comes like this. Oh, my fault, but this one is such and such and such and such. Or this one is mixed media, or So I hope I explained that.
Well, that's helpful. And also, man, like it's all learnings, it's all experience for not if, but when this goes some other place.
For sure.
So yeah. So I think, all those initial growing pains in a way makes sense. For sure. And then here's the first floor. George has got his whole story here featuring one of our past presidents here.
This is a fun one. And I did want to give a shout out to the museum as well. What they lacked in comic knowledge and some of the terminology, they know how to handle art. They know, where to put art, where not to put art. Mm-hmm. So that made me feel really good.
For sure.
Talking to them and getting everything set up. But yeah, this is that first floor room, which I felt like they set it up as kind of an immersive, like you can pick up the comics. Mm-hmm. I think there was a screen with some stuff on it. I think kind of to get people engaged in what this is, which I thought was a really cool setup.
Yeah.
But yeah, these pages specifically are from 2009 Thunderbolt story featuring Barack Obama that came out the week he took office. Pretty cool moment.
Yeah.
Look at that.
There's the moment we were talking about.
There we go. Did you take that picture, George?
Yeah, I stuck a few pictures, and that's actually one of the mural artists in front of me.
That is. So actually, the girl with the green note with her hair out. She's actually one of the mural artists, and she's actually one of the people who put up a lot of the artwork in the exhibit.
That's awesome.
So I don't have my Dahmers on, so I can't see what the comments are. So I'm like blind here. I'm blind.
I'll go left to right. That was Khalil.
It was Chris. It was
Chris.
Chris, Phil. Yeah, Chris just said how good looking I was on the panel. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris. But sorry, George. Sorry. Yes, that was the screening. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's actually like my family in the front row. So I'm glad they came out. So it was a good it was a good night. Good night.
Good night. Yes.
See if you can you see this now any better, Big Phil?
Don't do that to me. Okay. Don't do that to me.
It's all because you changed t-shirts.
It is. I changed my shirt, man. And I left my glasses out. It's just glaring. It's just too much glare.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So then
and we're all going to be at OAX. George, you're going to make it this time. Jeff?
Planning on it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yes.
There's no way I'm missing it.
We got some opportunity there here in January for that too, man. Yeah, looking forward to that.
And I'll stay for more than one day this time. I'm gonna stay the whole weekend.
Yeah,
I was talking to someone today and told them they need to come in on Thursday because Friday was a show day. I don't know if Bill and Cosper realized it, but there were enough of us there that lobby and that patio area was just taken over, and it was just clusters of collectors and artists having conversations and going through portfolios, and deals were happening. We were a day away from the show starting, but we just jumped right in.
I think there might be some Thursday and Friday day pre-parties in the penthouse rooms and in some of the other areas scheduled this time. Yeah.
Okay.
There might be some big meetups too at the parks. People like to get those out of the way on Thursday and Friday during the day before getting trashed Friday night at the opening.
Yep.
The link is in the chat, guys. I think the exhibit's up through January 12th. Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I gotta get my money ready for OAX because I got coming there right. So y'all know what piece I. There's only one piece I want. Y'all know what, Casper. You know what piece I want.
Yeah, but it's like I couldn't even sell a house and buy that piece.
Well, not that piece. I'm talking about the other piece. The thorns. I don't want to give it away because I don't want nobody to bring the price up a little bit higher.
Oh, I know which one you mean. Yeah, I just saw the caretaker of that piece in San Diego.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere.
Okay.
All right. Hey, and Caswell, number one Marvel fan beat you to it. No bad sharing next year. So,
wow.
Yes.
Listen.
That's right. No bad sharing.
That's right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Just there's so many folks we know that didn't make it for the inaugural, but they're going to be there for this one. So
the gift that gives on giving. I'm excited, man. Listen, I'll be very honest. I'm not saying it just because I'm on here right now. I feel like when I went to OAX, I was in Miami the night before, so I was kicking it, but I was so energized, and it just made me, it made the wheels turn about, how I want to actually collect artwork and be involved in this particular piece. And, when I get an idea, I just run with it, so I'm excited to see what's going to happen in part 2 of OAX.
Thanks, guys.
I was hoping to calm down, Chris. It's not possible, really. I'm trying, brother. But
before we kind of sign off here, Jeff, do you want to take a second to talk about some recent tragic news and how maybe the community can help out?
Yeah, I can do that since we're talking about a particular subset of our collector community, creator community. For those who don't follow LeBeau Underwood's social media, his nephew, who just joined the police force in Memphis 4 months ago. Last Friday was tragically killed in an on-duty accident. They're doing a fundraiser. Kazra's got the link that he can drop into the chat. The Memphis Police Association is doing it through their Facebook page. I know we have a lot of big hearts in our community. So if folks have a couple bucks and want to throw it that way, I'm sure the family would appreciate it. He leaves a wife and a young son behind. And there was a link in one of the updates, CAF updates this week. LeBeau has also priced some of his Star Wars High Republic Adventures pages from one of the recent issues in his gallery, also to help raise some funds. So this is one of those times where our community, can come together and make a difference. And so I just thought I'd mention that, since he certainly would be part of a conversation about Black creators and Black comics culture. So just want to throw that out there for everybody, and thank Kazra for putting that in the link.
Okay.
Thanks, Jeff.
We'll do.
We'll
Sorry
do,
to hear
man.
that.
Yes.
Yep.
Now let's let me just bring up one more thing here. This huge yellow and black, beautifully designed flyer reminding you up until January 12th, August Wilson African American Cultural Center in the fine city of Pittsburgh. You don't have to be a Steelers fan. You don't have to be a Pirates fan. They got good stuff though.
Wow.
And August 24th, plus or minus, a lot of people are going to be in Pittsburgh for Eddie P-Con. And maybe we'll all see you there and we can all go over to this together.
It would be dope. But, I'm check my schedule because I'll be busy. I got an event that night, but we should be able to make something happen. It would be a good idea, man, if we could maybe all at some point maybe go over to the collections in black and just I could give a tour. I could put on some August Wilson paraphernalia, man, and walk around like I'm a tour guide or something.
That'd be awesome. Thank you. Just bring those black gloves.
You already got them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Phil didn't mess around. I was like, I don't use those, Phil, when I'm handling my stuff. He's like, well, I do. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah, we were in Houston. He getting ready to touch the pages. Dallas. He getting ready to touch the pages without gloves. I'm like, hold on, Taylor. I had him in the suitcase. I busted him out. I said, man, put these gloves on, man. Let's go for it. And
Big Phil, there's no catalog, right, for the exhibit. I don't think there was enough time to put a catalog together.
I think we can. Yeah, I think that's something we should. I think that's something we can do because we do have everything documented, all the pieces that are in there. So that's something that could be an easy piece. But I want y'all to come see it. I'm not giving away all the no. Come see it. How about that? I want people to come see what's in there.
Even if I don't make it to Pittsburgh, I'll make sure you hook up with Dave, West Coast Avengers. He's great.
Okay.
I think he's going to be spending a few days going to every single comic book shop in the whole area and filming in each shop too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did go to IDES on
the greatest
recommendation. So that was a pretty impressive shop.
Yeah.
It was multi-level. So it's an entertainment store, but they got the modern comics and all the modern stuff. And then downstairs, they got all the old books. It was pretty impressive. I'll say that.
Yes, it's unreal. It's the best shop on the planet. I go to these other stores and I walk in. I'm like, man, y'all don't even have nothing. Like right now, they have like a Hulk 181 and a 9.8, and then they have like all of the EC comics, the one with with the dudes being hung, and then the one with the dude holding the girl's head. Like it is just like multiple copies of people's Grail pieces are in there. It's in my opinion, it is one of the best comic shops on the planet.
Yeah. Yes, and it's right there. It was literally
walking distance from the August Wilson Center. Walking distance.
Walk from the August Wilson Center. So it's all downtown. Yeah. So like George said, everything's kind of in walking distance of each other. Yeah.
And then there's Phantom in the Attic also, a new dimension as well.
Yeah. Speaking of George, that guy's got a new album out right now. So
that's right. That's
Thanks,
right.
Yeah. I know
I
I've
had
been
no
spending
idea.
it because I still play CDs in my 20-year-old car. So
Phil, I'll send you a link, man.
Please do, please do, please do.
Guys, thank you.
Nick said he's going to put up a piece of his own from his collection tomorrow for sale with all the money going to the family. So
Nice.
good looking out, Nick. Yeah.
Thank you, man. I missed that one. Thank you. I'll bring it up. Listen, we all love Nick Barucci, but while I got you all here, let's put the news out that the EXP YouTube channel got taken down temporarily, and no one knows why. So they're having to broadcast from their Facebook page for the next week. So tomorrow night's show with Nick, you're going to have to catch it on Facebook. But while I got you all here, I want to hear your best theory about why it was taken down from YouTube. Come on, guys.
Whenever that X is there, sometimes it can be problematic.
Oh man, no one knows why, and I've heard some strange things. Jokes, all jokes, of course, it's all jokes. But all right.
Well, with Nick's propensity for steak dinners, it might have just been a bad case of the meat sweats.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means because that sounds crazy. Like I heard with meat sweats, and I'm like, whoa, what are we talking about here? Let's not get shut down on YouTube and on StreamYard.
That's a good one, Chuck. That one. Maybe those red pants got a little too thin, wearing them so much.
Wow.
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Here, we got the Liefeld theory. We got the collars. Yeah, Vampirella variants. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Can I ask the question real quick? I know, Cash. I know you're tired of us. I know you got going with the show and you're trying to get rid of us. And I still love you anyway, brother.
You're just gonna call me on WhatsApp like in 20 minutes, aren't you?
So
You're gonna keep bringing people on, and we'll all be on for all of the 20
You guys can
pieces
stay
of
on the
art.
rest of the time. It's fine with me.
let me ask you this real quick. I want to ask my fellow collectors, that Liefeld piece, y'all think it's gonna go for the 7.5?
I mean, it does have 3 pairs of feet on it. So
I can't stand y'all.
3 pairs.
all joking aside, I think that there's probably some strategy there, and
Gotta be.
yeah, and if the hobby is going to grow to be coin collecting or fine art collecting,
It has to.
occasionally you're going to need to do something like this, whether it sells or not, just to attract in other people who otherwise wouldn't be paying attention to the market. Which the same thing is going to happen with your exhibit. There are going to be folks that are going to go there because it's art, but thinking more comic books, and it is going to elevate our hobby by having it in a cultural center and focusing on a cultural topic and having it be sort of a historical perspective.
Yeah.
And it's just going to raise all boats.
So the answer is yes.
I think it will.
Help me with this.
I think it will be. I think someone will announce that it is sold. They won't say the price. They won't say who won it. I think it will then resurface a little bit later, and then sell for about half that price. But in the meantime, all of the other Marvel art from that era are gonna jump right up.
I think that's a perfect word, is strategy, right? This is a strategic kind of deal. Here in Arizona, when the Mike Zeck Secret Wars 8 page, 3 point whatever million it was on my local news station.
Yeah.
Might have been for a minute or something,
Everywhere.
but it got all the way over here, and it was on national news. And I think that's the record right now for traditional like superhero art. So this would be two times that result, which was a crazy result when it happened. So we'll see.
Can I give you a theory?
Yes, sir. Of course.
I think that a major nonprofit institution can recognize and attribute the value of the piece, partly justified through heritage, presenting the piece as such, and can make an acquisition of a piece from an individual that would have some interest or benefit from a nonprofit acquiring the piece, even if it were for, in part, a tax deduction.
Mm-hmm.
It's going. I believe that you're right, and I believe this it's going to sell. I mean, I'm a betting man. If anybody want to bet, let me know. We can do a side bet on some books or something, or some artwork. We want to lose something. It's going to sell. I think it's going to sell, and I think it's going. I like Casper's idea. I really think that makes a whole lot of sense. But I also like the mix of Jeff and Khalil, because I think what happens is that once this sells, keyword is once it's going to sell. I'm telling you, it's going to sell. It's going to be the biggest news on the planet. Every first such and such legitimate first, it's going to go through the roof. But here's the thing, though. I think it's really good for the collecting hobby, because now it puts eyes on not necessarily the books, but now it's like, oh, this is fine art. And not to use the term legitimate, like we were talking about earlier, but it's a good alley-oop. I think it's a good, and my exhibit helps too, man. When the first looking like that. But I think this is going to be, yes. I think it's going to sell. I really do. We may not know the price, but I think it's going to sell.
And it's a perfect time if you're gonna shoot for the moon.
Come on,
this
man.
is the time, right?
Yeah.
The movie,
right.
I think, had one of the highest grossing Marvel film weekends in the opening weekend.
I think Big Phil, once Heritage decided to list it as such, which is not in an open auction, but at a stated, essentially buy it now or partially negotiable price, they had to think through the process that once it did sell, that they would need to disclose the terms, because they stated a price.
Okay.
I would think that it would have to be a very unusual situation. Terms were not disclosed. The buying party's request would probably be the primary way out of that. But because of the way that they presented it, there is an expectation, a very objective expectation, that they would disclose the terms, and they should be motivated to do such because of the significant valuation of the piece. It wouldn't be enough to say that it's sold.
Right.
They would have to say more than that.
Yeah.
Maybe out to a decimal place, maybe not.
See, this is good. This is good.
And to Kabi's comment, it's got us all talking. I think the day it posted, every comic art chat that I saw, it was posted multiple times in.
Yeah.
With lots of comments.
I got to tell you guys a very quick story to just speak about this thing getting bigger. There's the exhibition for Marvel going around the States, and it's gone overseas. I was lucky to have some pieces go overseas. And I was also lucky to go visit this exhibition when it was in New Zealand with my brother. I was there at the very second to the last day, and I'm looking at the pieces. I'm talking with the folks working there, and it was great because they've been working there for 6 months, every day, looking at the same stuff, talking to people. So I was getting a chance to talk with the staff, and this woman comes up. She says, "Hi, did I overhear that you own this or some of these?" And I said, "Yeah." So we talked for quite a while. She was saying, she had a lot of questions. How'd you get into it? What do you do? Where are you from? A lot of that. My family's here. She brought her grandsons over. She's like, "Hey, this guy owns this. Let's take a picture," and whatever. And it was a great conversation. I said, tell your friends and whatever. She left, and a guy comes up afterward. He goes, that when you go back to the States, that was Dame Cindy Kiro. She's the Governor General of New Zealand, essentially the president of the country who you were talking with. And it was it was really neat that experience was cool, but it was really neat to just like a presidential person, just enjoying this, asking questions, learning. I don't know. So it was just a neat experience with the thought of we keep using that word legitimacy, but I mean, this thing is getting bigger, and it was really neat that she made it a point to go to this because she had heard really, really good things before it closed and had questions about this superhero stuff and being very interested in these one of a kind pieces and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, it was a neat experience, but it was just really cool seeing our stuff here rightfully get broader. And
it's one of the areas where America is the one that's behind. It's not the rest of the world that's behind. As far as panel-based or sequential storytelling goes, the superhero genre has been carved out a little bit, but even around the world, the superhero genre has, you know, it's been adopted and evolved and incorporated, and people have made their own regional, icons and symbols based on the superhero genre in the States. But it's only Americans that have looked at it the way that they have and dismissed it as readily as they have, and that's just America. That'll change. That'll change, though. Can I say one thing real quick? Out of San Diego Comic-Con, at the Sunday Jack Kirby panel, they did bring in the organizers of the Marvel exhibits. Khalil, you know the two gentlemen there very well.
Yeah.
And they made an announcement that the Skirball Cultural Center, the Jewish Cultural Center in LA/Santa Monica, has commissioned a multi-year annual exposition focusing on a different creator. So one a year for the next many years has been commissioned, and we can expect it to be a pretty significant production of an American comic book artist. I believe American. And would you believe it? The first one is Jack Kirby, and that show will be
surprise.
That show will be going up in May of 2025. So this has been in the planning. The funding is in the works, and away we go.
Incredible.
The Godfather gets more shine. Yes.
So can we laugh at the irony that it's going to be Deadpool that's going to bring
it's crazy.
American comics to the forefront, to the serious forefront that we're all hoping for?
Well, as much as we joke about Rob and feet and whatever, there is no denying that man is central to 1990s comics.
Right.
Oh, I'm talking more about the character.
Right. And, you know, with that being one of his central characters, and then Ryan Reynolds latching on to bring him to Hollywood, because that was a struggle in and of itself for him to get it to screen in the first place. I mean, that is something.
And I'm a fan of Rob's work, by the way, especially that New Mutants run.
I mean, Rob ran and so many artists were copycats of his particular style, you know, regardless if people, you know, like it, love it, hate it. You got to give him his props because he was running things for forever, and he made some iconic characters. You know, that's the page where, and I remember when I first bought my New Mutants 98, I was never into Deadpool. My son liked Deadpool, right? And I bought one for like $50, a nice crisp copy for like $50. It was in a bin, but it's just when you watch it now and to see how much of an icon this particular character is. I have my issues with the character, I have my issues with the film, but I get it. Like, that character means so much to so many people. So I hope it sells for a multitude of reasons. If it sells, it's good for us too, by the way. So.
Yes. You know, a friend said, look at this New Mutant stuff. He gave me 91. That's Cable and Sabretooth on the cover. And immediately, yeah, I mean, there was an energy. There was a bombastic kind of feel. We definitely wanted to keep reading it, no doubt. So, yeah, definitely give him his props, like y'all are saying, as far as that time goes.
Aranga, are the 90s legitimate or not? You're on
gonna ask the Cable guy, the guy that's the fan of Cable.
Yeah. Wait. Why did I join the green?
Yes. All right.
How's it going, fellas?
Hey, we here.
We here. Yes. Big Phil, you're the only one I haven't met yet. I know these other clowns.
It's nice meeting you, brother. We here.
All right, right on. Why am I here, Kasra?
Oh, I wanted to know whether the '90s were legit or not.
Yeah, they were legit.
Really? They're legit.
Sure.
They
Were legit. Anyone who says otherwise is just a straight up hater, man.
Or an old man. Yeah.
Yeah, or an old man.
I mean, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about this broadcast? This reminds me of high school. Like the brothers are all like at the bottom, like in the cafeteria, like we're sitting at our own table, and then we got everybody separated. Did y'all peep that? Did y'all peep the segregation and cover on stage?
Are you calling me white?
No. I said, Casper, I know you not right. I'm just saying that
that's a problem.
Phil, this is the second time in 2 weeks Kasra's been called white.
I never called it. First of all, I know a name like Cosper. I know that brother's not white. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We know that. We know Cosper's not right. Come on now. I was talking about the Africans at the bottom of the page. That's what I was talking about. But listen,
yeah, Aranga.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love it. Okay.
Yes, I do too, Kaz.
What he should have did was he should have had like me and Khalil should have been flanked and then had him in the middle. So we got the white tees, for the far sway of the whole thing.
Oreos, 2 Oreos.
That'd been crazy. That'd been crazy.
Glasses. Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, we barely got enough for double stuff tonight.
I think it's hair based though. To be honest,
I like that too.
It's lack of hair based.
Yeah.
Super cold. And I went to the barbershop.
Well, I gotta apologize. I was meaning to get a cut. I didn't know I'd be on at the same time you would. And,
yeah, brother, man, you gotta make sure you crisp, man. Every time you get on, man, you don't do that to yourself.
This isn't there yet.
I don't go to the mailbox without a cut. I be in the house scared to go outside, man, if I'm not crisp.
See, I do my own, man.
That's crazy. And then there's no excuse.
Yeah.
How you get in the green room and didn't tight? I'm just messing with you. on a side note, Cash, one more thing. Cash was tired of us already. It's okay.
10th, one more thing. But go ahead.
It's the 7th, just the 7th. I need a John Byrne X-Men page. So any of you brothers, man, feel like donating to the Big Phil Fund. Show me some love, man. I appreciate it.
Sell it.
Hey, Phil,
I need one, man. I need a John Byrne, Terry Austin page. Listen. If you don't ask for it, you don't get it. Shit. Fair. So I'm just, somebody want to, show me some love on something, man. Let's make something happen. Cause I need a page from that run.
I need someone in the chat.
You know who has all those?
Yeah,
Rob Liefeld.
I was gonna say, doesn't Liefeld have one?
He does have a lot.
He has all of them.
Yes,
he has all of them.
We know a few people that have some pages. I'm sure they'd be willing to part with.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I need something, man. I know y'all, brother. Between y'all, man, y'all can come up with something, man. So
I got none, man.
Who's lying right now? Who said that?
You need. I need a lot of things too, Phil.
First of all, I know you not. Listen. Let's keep it 100, Lil. The brother
This
with
sounds like a new
1,000 names.
Sunday show.
Listen, this dude has Scotty Young pieces. You got, man, that piece you just got a couple weeks ago. Man, come on, man. You're good for a long time.
I'm good. I'm fortunate, happy. Yes, I keep hunting. It's big game hunt fewer and farther between now. It's just kind of the way it goes. I've moved a lot more art in the last year or two than I ever have before, like way more, because it's the way it works. But yes, I'm very happy, fortunate with what I've been able to attain. Yes.
Yeah, you going hard. I mean, your collection is unreal, man. I'm gonna give you props. If I didn't know you, man, some of that shit wouldn't have made it to the exhibit, man. I'd have had an accident, and they would have, they just had to give you that insurance money or something.
Well,
man.
you were joking about that, and I didn't know you that well yet, so I was like, all right, trust.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that to you, bro. I wouldn't do that to nobody.
All right, you guys head off. Look for your Burn Austin pages and all that, and let us know what happens.
All right.
That's terrible.
Hit Pittsburgh if you can.
Yeah,
please do.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, good seeing you guys.
All right, yeah.
Mike
care.
out, bro.
Have a good one.
Let's see. Who am I removing? This guy, this guy, this guy. Bye, Jeff. And you're staying on. All right, guys. Let's talk about San Diego. You had a good time?
I had a great time. I came back with the specialist of special editions from San Diego, but it's all good. Just a week, quarantined upstairs. It was fantastic, man. Got waited on hand and foot. My wife would just come up the stairs, leave food for me on the stairs.
I should have left this guy on to say thank you, and then now he can leave. Him and Mikhail went way, way, way above and beyond.
Yeah. No, San Diego was a great time, man. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm better now.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I take long naps and all that kind of stuff.
But that's a function of age, man.
I don't nap, man. I don't nap. I'm okay.
You don't nap?
Nah,
It's a
not
bunch
yet.
of bullshit, dude. Like, my day is spent from the time I wake up looking forward to my afternoon nap. Just out of curiosity, what are we doing here right now?
Just filling time now. I mean, we can do whatever we want.
Can we do a heritage recap?
I was gonna do. No, we're not gonna do any of that. I'm gonna do the EXP video for Nick. Now, again, remember, guys, there's enough people watching. They're off of YouTube for a week, and you got to go to EXP Facebook page, especially for tomorrow night's show with Nick. But we got a little video here, and it'll let me go and check up on my dog. All right, I'll see you in a minute, Aranga.
All righty.
Everybody, this Friday, August 9th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, the original art experience is here again, and this time, I'll be the host again. This time, I'll be bringing the art again. This time, I can go on and on and on. Amy's rolling her eyes. She wants me to get this over with, so let's get it going. All right, all kidding aside, we've got Zorro #1 cover by John Cassaday. Look at how beautiful that is. Evil Ernie #1 cover by Joyce Chen. We have a Turok #10 cover by Bart Sears. People keep asking for more Dynamite. We have a good amount of Dynamite. Project Superpowers 2 #5, page 14 by Edgar Salazar, as well as the Cato Annual by Edgar Salazar. Plus we have, let's see if I can get that in right, probably not. Then we have this Power Girl commission by Edgar Salazar. Then we have this Red Bull StarCraft from Dark Horse Comics by Edgar Salazar. We have Titans Hunt by Steven Segovia. Now this is a big one. We have John Romita Jr. signed by Stan Lee, and somewhere where it doesn't cover too much art, this is X-Men Legacy 208. Oh my stars and garters, you've got pretty much every X-Men. You've got the Hellfire Club. You've got classic X-Men, new X-Men, old Beast, new Beast, Phoenix, Marvel Girl, White Queen. Check it out, White Queen. So, Sebastian Shaw, Gladiator. Oh my God, Cable. Oh man, if Deadpool was here, this would really be going for a lot more money. But having said that, it's still pretty freaking awesome. Shatterstar. Oh my God, I think I said Sebastian Shaw. And Cyclops, let's not forget Cyclops. Oh yeah, Wolverine. All right, then we're gonna go to DC. We got Aquaman by Jim Aparo. Check it out, that is gorgeous. Don Newton, why am I putting Don Newton on the air? God, this world's finest is beautiful. Then we have this Teen Titans Silver Age, Dave Gibbons over Nick Cardy. Let's not have that fall over. Then we have JSA by Dale Eaglesham and Roy Jose. Who knows? Maybe I'll bring this one in under $200. Maybe I'll even make it $100. Sensational Spider-Man 25. I believe this is Angel Medina and Scott Hanna. Then we have a Dale Eaglesham unpublished Punisher #3 cover, but it is gorgeous. Then we're going to have Superior Spider-Man #8, page 4. Check it out. This is pretty awesome. Then we have Superior Spider-Man number 7, page 20. I mean, look, this is great. Wrecking Crew, Doc Ock, Spider-Boy, Prowler, so much more. This is friggin' fantastic. Then when we did the Shadow series back in the day, we had incentives by Alex, Ross, and Jay Lee for retailers who ordered multiple copies. This is one of the proofs. We will have this on the air, and I might even do this as a best offer. Heck, I owe you guys. Haven't been here for 2 weeks, so maybe I'll do more than one best offer. But you gotta tune in Friday to sign. You gotta tune in Friday to find out. By the way, that's the rain. Now, here's the video here. I will say this, something may come together tomorrow where we'll do a second video. Hopefully I'll remember to wear a black shirt for the video, because today's Tuesday, black shirt Tuesday, you know, because it makes me look a little thinner. Not too much, but. So this Friday, August 9th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, hit that thumbs up, share, sharing is caring, let everybody know it's going to be a great Friday. See you Friday at 7.
There it is. And Nick, Mikasa Sukasa, if you want to do it here, you're welcome to it. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Kazra.
Hey, Jeff
What's
is still
up,
in the
Chris?
back. Should we let him in?
What?
You okay, Jeff?
Is he still in the green room?
Yeah, he put both hands up. Is that a good sign?
He's
Or
having a
bad?
stroke.
He's okay.
Jeff, do you smell toast?
That is true. That is true. All right. Yeah, Nick, email us if we can help out. If you want to be on the YouTube channel, that's no big deal at all, of course. Anyway, what do you want to do, guys? You want to talk a little bit? You want to go in the picks? What do you feel like?
I want to talk about my feelings.
Well, we can do
Me?
that. Feelings or feeling? Do you have more than one feeling?
Yeah, I have a lot of feelings. Come on now.
I just have the one.
I'm essentially like a skin suit over a bundle of feelings.
I want to hear more about
I definitely don't.
Okay. Well,
I'm ashamed for you.
Cap after dog.
you guys like Zoe Milk? Here's a piece
Oh,
by
wow.
Zoe I got at San Diego. Do you know her work?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
She's
And I know her work because you were telling me about her.
she does these very lovely drawings. They're actually incredibly, surprisingly, shockingly delicate in person. She does them at shows. She doesn't do too many shows. They're beautiful. Anyway, her paintings, of course, are great. And she's going to have a solo show at Corey Helford in LA where the Kirby Vision's closing up and she's going in for a solo show, coincidentally.
Those are nice,
Any
man.
case, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Maybe she may even make it out to OAX. Let's see. Her and Kent Williams. Cross your fingers. That'd be nice. So yeah, I got your picks loaded up. We can go right into them. We can talk about something else. We can make shit up. We can have a little CEO Q&A if you want. Whatever you want.
Q&A.
Where's
I
the-
know. Isn't that exciting? Yeah.
Where's the app?
The app? You want to know about the app or what?
It's always the first fucking question.
I want the app.
Yeah, no, I know we want the app. But we keep adding stuff to it. That's the annoying thing. But we got another update, I think yesterday morning or this morning. I didn't have time to download it. We got news today that one of the little fun little add-ons that we wanted is going to be possible. I normally won't talk about it till it's tested. It's not that big of a deal, but we wanted to be able to just use emojis stuff for comments, just stuff to make it a little bit more fun. And I wanted to get a graphic designer to do some bespoke calf emojis. Right? Yeah, exactly. That looks like it's going to be possible, but some of the big stuff that's going to be added on is going to happen in the next 2 or 3 weeks, and that's it. It's gonna go through approval and it's gonna launch in September, period. And then V2 will be like email system, real-time alerts, and maybe a little bit of the marketplace stuff. And we'll get that out probably 30, 40 days later only. Wow. And away we go. Yeah, that app has sunk a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of everything. But I'm glad that we did as much as we did V1, because when people use it, I think Bill said it over and over again. They're going to love it. They're going to love it. And then it'll shift to, the website sucks. So that'll be the reward for good work.
When's the website update coming?
When's the website? There's a conspiracy that you're not even going to work on the website. Yeah, because we're working on other shit. Yeah, 2025 website.
What kind of a weak ass conspiracy is that? We got so many other good
comic book industry.
I know.
They're way better.
Still conspiracy theories.
Jesus, this is.
I gotta put some fucking work in.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anyone get on Felix's crypto drop? I think that one got taken down. I mean, I don't know how the mighty have fallen when you want to like get people to buy crypto and make a commission off of it, right?
It was the friendliest photo of Felix I've ever seen, though.
For a guy who got hacked, he sure got his account back really quick.
See, more Felix conspiracies is what this is.
Matt had Zoe's first ever solo show. He's got a good eye, and Zoe was in my Tome anthology book all the way back in 2012. She was brilliant from the start. Matt will agree with that. Who else? Oh baby, bespoke emomies. Okay, Stingray, keep drinking. Great to hear we can play within the September. Wow, James, keep that to yourself. And what else we got?
Right now, James, there's nobody stopping you.
Let's just do a roast the chat section.
Roast the chat. I mean, you think that they should just be able to say whatever they want whenever the hell they want
with impunity?
Negative.
Basically, don't you think that's what OAX is about? Is it all these guys have to come and see you in person?
Mm-hmm. I like it. It's like the player haters ball.
You guys remember doing this growing up? Do you remember that was a Midwest thing, Chris? Do you remember that? So we obviously in Chicago, we had a huge Polish community. This was called Polish boxing.
Yep.
Is that what it was called up in Wisconsin?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Bohemian, so I'm like basically 50% Polish.
Right.
I just found out I have no idea what the hell Bohemian means.
When's the interesting part of the show going to start? Okay.
Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Before Germany got antsy, it was Bohemia.
Oh, all right.
All right. This is the first real question.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't grow my hair out.
Yeah.
Also, Marcus, I think you mean Valerian. Targaryens are all lily white, boy.
Yeah. He thinks that underneath the cap there is like long white hair.
Yes, like dreads, like
Yes.
white dreads. Yeah. Valerian's what you're looking for, Marcus.
You're like who the Targaryens marry to piss off their parents.
Correct. In real life, I'm who my wife married to piss her parents off.
Oh my lord. The most racially charged calf update ever. And by a lot.
It's what we talk about in Oranga? It's racial, not racist.
Yeah, Chris. This was racial.
I said racial. I didn't say racist. I can't say that word.
That's
I think a rally at the Paper Street Soap Factory.
Oh my god. You guys watched season 2 of that show yet?
What?
House of Dragon?
Oh yeah, I wrapped it
just
up.
ended.
Yeah, it was pretty good. The season finale was a little underwhelming, but the episode before that was bonkers good.
Okay, good. I usually wait till it ends to watch it, so I'm going to start it up. Can I do the cast schedule? Is that all right with you guys?
Let's ride.
CC.
Prop store auction preview. Prop store I think is on there twice, 8/12 and 9/9. I don't know what's going on there. Hi Prop store, welcome back. 8/13 Matt DiTullio interview. I'm going to do that one too. I have a hard time interviewing people that I'm friends with because I have nothing to say to them on record. Absolutely. Could you see that? Like these guys, I don't know what to talk to you guys about. The camera's on. Amateur dueling dealers, Jeff Dunn, Carl Choi. Maybe that one's more like a double X, right? Not a triple X.
Yes.
Jeff Moy interview sale. That'll be fun. Michael McIsaac, that'll be great.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. Richard Pace interview sale on the 24th. Jose Caballero. I'll probably do that one too on the 27th, talking all things Marvel card art. And maybe a little bit about OAX by then too, because I think let me see the calendar here. I think Thursday the 29th is the day that Bill and I plan to have kind of like a big OAX reveal show. We wanted to do it a little bit earlier, but I think that last Thursday of August will be a huge chunk of the announcements for OAX.
I just
Ryan Hitch.
Midnight.
I'm sorry?
I just went from 6 to midnight.
Yeah, that might be a thing. Maybe we'll start it at 8 o'clock, and we'll do like 2 hours of OAX, and then do like a 45-minute calf update, and then let you do the picks, that kind of thing.
No, I don't think that's what Chris was talking about.
Correcto.
Brian Hitch interview sale on the 31st. Tom Negovan. And Tom just came out with the remastered, redone original script Caligula that did very well at the Cannes Film Festival and has been picked up and distributed. And I think it's finally going to reach screens, I think maybe end of August and definitely in September. And he's a gallerist and a very interesting guy. Prop Store, we already talked about you, Prop Store. Heritage Signature Auction preview on the 10th. Carl on the 17th, that'll be great. I like Carl. I like his channel. And the 14th, Japan Comic Art Expo sale. I'm not sure what that is. Bill's sometimes just add stuff in. And McGinnis will be back at some point. Let me get rid of this. All right. That was quick. Triple X amateurs, Pace, Picante. Guys, you want to talk about anything, or can I just keep rambling about bullshit?
Eggplant emoji.
Eggplant emoji. Who's watching Bill's house while he's away? I think that coyote that ate his cat.
God damn. Too soon.
Is probably that was
soon?
Wow.
Too soon.
Billbot gonna be all up on that ass.
Show go dark.
Yeah.
Okay. What else we got? I don't have anything. Let me just CAF app, talked about that. I'd like to bring in some new people to CAF if that's of interest. So I'll get that out soon.
Collectors? What are you talking about?
No, like someone with operations, someone with sales and marketing, graphic design, web programmer, developer, and maybe another person on the app side. Some production help for the YouTube channel because there's so much new stuff I want to do there. Bill and I have a lot of plans there.
I'm a global operations manager for a biotech company. I'm just saying. If you need somebody in operations.
Hey, just put me in the green room, start the interview now.
First off, you're happy. Why would you want to?
Am I?
Well, you've been there 20 years now?
30.
Oh, wow.
Did you say 30 years?
Yeah. Started when I was 19 sweeping floors.
Yeah, that's old school. Staying in a job for that long. Oh.
I'm acting like I give a shit.
This is good TV.
This is fantastic TV. You guys, this is gonna be.
You guys stink at this. You want me to run it?
When me and Juan did the behind the music about how CAF just went down.
Yeah,
these are gonna be this.
There's a flashing arrow that points to this
footage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you guys see last night's show? This is high production entertainment value compared to last night's entertainment was amazing, actually. That show 30 minutes. Watch the first 30 minutes of Dueling Dealers last night. That was a lot of fun. If you like chaos, that was a lot of fun.
You've got a really good mic, Kazra.
Do I?
Yeah, your voice sounds terrific.
Oh, it might be partly because my nose is stuffed and I've been sick and that kind of thing.
That would have the inverse effect, but
yeah. Oh. All right, guys, why don't we do some picks? Yeah, there's nothing else to talk about. Want to talk about some of Promega's new product lines, or what's going on?
No.
No?
Also, you don't want to hear me explain them.
Are we going to
What's
do any
Promega?
like touch DNA testing at OAX?
Likely.
That
I'm
works.
always doing it anyway. I'm pocket testing everybody's DNA.
Mm.
Ranga's actually not from Sri Lanka. He just is.
No, I'm definitely not from Sri Lanka. If you watched the show earlier,
That was good. That was good. I was like, ooh, Big Phil's in for a surprise.
I was like, I'm not telling him.
Yeah.
He's like, I like this too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let me bring in
Oh,
here.
are these your picks this week?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. I didn't know if like Bill picked and then had you talk about them, or they're your
No,
picks.
I was going to pick,
This is
but I'm
gonna
like, it'd be a lot more fun.
quality.
I
A lot more fun.
I picked them specifically to make enemies tonight.
So we're going to start with Chris. We're going to save the enemies to make people watch.
All right.
Okay. And I think these are yours, Chris. Yeah.
Yep.
Does that look big enough on the screen there?
Looks good to me.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
To talk about.
Take it away, Chris. You got 10. And the funny thing was, Aranga sent like 12 or 14 because he's a polite man and all that stuff, and not one overlap with your pick.
Nice.
No, nothing.
All right.
Yeah.
I actually thought about that, and I kind of went out of my way to pick things that I thought Aranga would not pick. So I did it. I did it, is what I'm saying.
I think it's perfect. I kind of did the same.
All right.
As
So
Spirit, the master. Here we go.
absolutely, yeah. So I love this because I pretty much love everything this guy does. But I'm a sucker for if you work type into the composition. Obviously, there's that I think this is the title or the name of the main character, maybe both. I'm not familiar with the story itself, but there's so much to love here. I mean, the textures are amazing. The palette is great. Like I said, he worked the type into the composition, which I always love. The lighting is really incredible on this. And I love how he has this knack of getting like really painterly. And then at the same time, in the same piece, he can get really illustrative. So like if you look at the texture on the wall and stuff like that, where he's working in lighter colors, but then if you scroll up a little bit, he really dials in the character's face. Like he loads on the detail there.
Yeah, the blacks get deeper there too, and it brings it forward. And this is not, like a style of Aspiri that I think a lot of us are accustomed to.
Great point. Yeah.
Yeah, and Chris, this pick had nothing to do with the fact that
It looks like
that
the
logo
thing.
looks like the thing.
I knew somebody was going to say it. I'm happy it was you, but no, it did not. I mean, did it catch my eye from the homepage? Oh, maybe a little bit.
So, like in France, the thing is known as Dustin, or in Italy,
Dustin.
El Dustin.
Dustin.
Mítica portada original de Alfonso Spiri para 1986, and it's from Love Illustration. And as Bill is often saying, I have no idea who that is. I've never seen their gallery before. Should we leave comments though for these instead of just doing likes?
Ooh,
Yes.
I like that.
So this is from us to you. What do we want to say?
Thank you for teaching us how the thing is spelled in French.
How the thing is spelled in French.
This guy's gonna get up tomorrow, open up his account, and be like, "Zut alors!"
Zut alors!
Yeah,
We
and-
had these problems when I was ruler of France.
C'est ridicule.
Whoa.
yeah, but unfortunately, my name is going to be on that.
Yes, fortunately.
There you
Oh,
go.
look at that. OA Expo, front and center.
Oh,
Thank
look
you for
forward.
teaching us how the thing is spelled in French. Good pick. Great pick. Let's move on.
Thank you.
Another European master.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
not
dawned on
European.
me.
Forgive me.
It just dawned on me. You should be every time you should leave more comments, because every time you comment, it's like a little banner ad for OAX.
Oh, that's true.
Hey,
Never thought of that.
marketing opportunity.
There you go. I can get this open. There you go. I know
I
it's
was-
going to not gonna look as quite as good, but they're
Yeah, well, they're not premium. That's the
Yeah.
cross bear. The so last week I was talking about the run on Hex because I picked that David Michael Beck piece, and obviously Jordy had a huge multi arcs, multi issue running that same title. That's also where I discovered Bernay, for better or for worse. I feel like I was late to that party because I learned about him from an American comic when he has this massive body of work that he'd already done in Europe on a really cool title like Torpedo, amongst other things, obviously. But the reason I really like this page so much is because I love the visual interest and the vibrancy that guy's pinstripe jacket brings to those panels. I think it makes it really stands out and it really draws your eye in.
Hmm. Yeah, no, it does. And then if he was too much at the foreground all the time, it might have been too chaotic too. He's pushed him back a little bit in the panels, and it's a little bit easier on the eye. It's good contrast.
Yeah.
But this bottom left panel and that profile shot there, that's such classic. I mean, that's just
Totally.
grenade. Boom.
Yeah, that's Torpedo 101 down there.
Yeah. I like this one. And you're going to make me in the chat, go ahead and chime in about the awful thing that you want me to say in quotes. I'll eat the bullet on this one.
Just let them know that their page was featured on the CAF update this week.
Your page was featured on the CAF update this week.
But screw up the spelling. Do you are.
You are.
Your page.
You
was WZ.
Snork.
And then Azra was here.
Snork like the suit stripes. How's that?
Perfect.
Okay. So I'll do the your page was featured on the CAF update this week as the starter, and then we'll do something stupid afterwards.
That's actually a great idea.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to, and then here's proof that it happened, and go up to Warlords. I'll let you know who gets irate and emails me too. This one, and Royo, you're going with all the you're going with
like
my
I said,
show.
I was trying really hard to stay out of E's lane, E's wheelhouse. So I have some more esoteric stuff in here. So it's a great likeness. It's a killer composition. I've never seen this movie. I'm guessing it was probably released in theaters in Germany or something like that, because I'm guessing by the time David Carradine made this movie, his career was waning. This is pre-Kill Bill, but I'm a sucker for these, this is the stuff that was on the video store shelves when I was a kid. So this has got a little element of nostalgia for me from that standpoint.
This looks like something that he painted, and then they made the movie based on the painting. That's how classic this is.
Warlords.
Also, doesn't that look like the guy who played Baron Harkonnen in the David Lynch version of Dune in the background there?
Yeah, kind of.
I think that might be him.
What's that guy holding in his hand?
That's the MacGuffin, I think. It's whatever David Carradine has to get to stop him.
It looks like a carpenter's tool from his garage that he used as a prop, and then he added some blades on the top of it.
You know what it looks like to me? So in Wisconsin, we have, bad varmint problems. It looks like a weasel trap or a mole trap, but it's inverted. So it's got that mechanism on the top and then spikes that drive down.
Oh shit. That is inhumane AF. I love it. It actually stabs the varmint
several times.
Good Lord, man.
Yeah.
So impressive royal cover with cool colors. And we start off with your page was featured on the CAF update this week.
Do you know if they made the movie based on this painting?
Do it. Yes, that's perfect.
What did you call it? A varmint? What?
Oh, it's a mole trap.
No, you used the word varmint.
Varmint's better.
Well, it's varmint trap.
Apparently, apparently is always a good word when you don't want to say that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but you're speaking with authority.
Or you're trying to repeat someone else's words. Hey, this isn't my thought, but apparently
Ezra said the app is ready.
This movie was written and filmed based on this incredible image. Is there a better way to write that, or is that about right?
I think
No, that's perfect. Like, let him spread that.
Apparently, this movie was written and filmed based on this incredible visionary. We'll just go with image. We don't want to be sarcastic.
We should find a
Evocative.
Wikipedia page for this movie and edit
I
it.
was just thinking the same thing. This is why they don't let us hang out.
Great pick, man.
And there's only one comment. Now there's two, and the second one is awesome. Oh man, Geis's commissions. And he does the best Instagram and Facebook updates too. He's like, he comes off as like an incredibly articulate, learned historian of the art form.
Yeah.
Unbelievably, like humble, no false humility, no nothing. But please, sorry, Chris, go.
I love seeing this character illustrated by somebody other than Walt Simonson. That's the main thing. I mean, and that sounded weird because Walt Simonson's like a god to me. I didn't mean it that way. But I think this is such a cool, even though it's a dated character design, we all love it. I mean, I think this is a universally loved character design. The fact that Butch Geis is turning this kind of stuff out, one, for a commission, but two, he's not a young man. And
no,
if I'm being honest, I think he's doing the best work of his life now.
This looks terrific, man. So this is a recent commission.
Yes,
we assume so because he's been doing them recently, and I don't know, Chris. I don't remember him posting this specific piece so that it's 100% confirmed.
Yeah, I saw.
And I don't see a date.
3 days ago.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I saw it maybe 3 days ago.
Okay,
Instagram.
great.
I actually saw it on half before I saw it on Instagram, but I did see it there.
And he's so good.
I know.
Yeah, that's pretty freaking great, man.
Like the technical stuff is so good. Like he draws weapons so well. Like, and the cloth, the folds, the line weights. I mean, like you can't pick this apart at all.
Nope. How old would you say he is now? Like in his 70s?
I think he's in his late 60s at least.
Yeah, I think he started young and he's still late 60s.
Yeah.
He's one of the first people that I asked for OAX this year. I asked, Leighton has known him for 40 years, and I asked Bob to reach out, and he asked him directly. And of course, Butch was very, very kind about it, but he doesn't do shows.
It's too bad.
Shame.
Like, can you imagine a bunch of people walking out of OAX with this kind of thing?
I'm gonna still try. I'd like to be one of them. I mean, Dave Garland's the guy to ask. There he is. It was right in Dave's. I guess this is one Dave got for himself. Can't even make fun of this one.
Yeah, that's what I was like, man, you can't really make fun of this one.
Well, you could say, please ask Butch to attend OAX 2025. 63. Oh, younger than I thought. Not by a lot, but
wow.
God, okay. He did start young then. Holy shit.
Yeah.
He was a tyke when he started.
63. He's not old.
No. He's barely older than you.
Come on, man.
I gotta put my business in the streets.
I make 58 look good, son.
You're the hottest 58-year-old I know.
Yeah.
All right, classing up the joint with some Gray Morrow. Okay.
Yeah. That was really my only goal. No. Gray Morrow is, obviously one of those like incredibly impactful illustrators that maybe doesn't get enough credit, but when you turn out enough stuff like this, it's really hard to ignore. He's not, he doesn't have like a huge run on an influential book or anything like that. Like Chuck Arnold likes to tell me that Alex Toth would be bigger if he had like a run on something, right? Where he was like the guy on the character, whatever, Batman or something like that. I kind of feel the same way about Gray Morrow a little bit. But, history aside, I absolutely love the type on the page. Again, not to harp on type, but I love it when people can draw cool landscapes like that bit at the top. Horses are a big thing for me. If you can draw a horse, I know you can basically draw anything. Ranga, I've never seen you draw a horse.
Yeah, you
Have I?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. He's going to be furiously drawing horses later.
Just one part of them.
And then scratching it out with an X-Acto knife and writing Chris over and over again.
Negative space. Yeah. Not hairy enough.
Anyway, I really like how he goes from the panel in the middle there on the left where everything is kind of like dialed back, but the details dialed up. And then you've got the exact opposite on the right-hand side where he shows El Diablo, like he gives him all that visual weight. He's kind of like anchoring that end of the page. So it's just, this guy's incredible.
Look at all the texture he's added to that page. The stippling on is that a bell? I'm assuming he's in a bell tower.
Right.
It's pretty rad, man. Just all the different textures and different types of ways to render texture on the same page.
Right. Different techniques everywhere.
Yeah.
This blam right in the middle of that first panel is really odd. No, I can't imagine that he did that. Do you see that?
Weird.
It is a little odd, right? What's really odd, because I had to blow up this guy's image, is I thought it said Islam! Exclamation point.
We're getting on there again. On there again, Kezra. Whether intentionally or unintentionally.
So Adam Hughes! Exclamation point. Islam!
Islam! Wow!
So Al Simpleton.
Islam! Wow! I just got it.
Marcus Al Simpleton reply. We're gonna get a reply for this comment. Even Bill J chimed in. Ray Cuthbert, of course.
Let's do it.
Who knows his stuff? So here we go. This piece was featured on the CAF update this week. Islam.
That's what I was about. I picked it because
oh my god.
Yeah.
Huge admiration all around. Okay. Well, let's just be. I gotta put my name to this stuff.
I also really love that you type all of this out in all caps.
All caps.
Like you're yelling at the dude.
All caps. Yeah. It's not really me. Yeah.
When you're busy like Kezra, you don't have time. You just hit the caps lock and
go.
Yep.
And go.
I love that you chose this.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Was it the Triple Lindy?
The Triple Lindy, yeah.
Triple Lindy, sorry, yes.
So right before I came down, they were doing men's diving on the Olympics, and they're all doing that like knees tucked up, rolling, and I was like, is the Triple Lindy like based on real life? I mean, clearly it's not. He's flipping around platforms and whatever, but there's like a kernel of like truth to the Triple Lindy. Anyway, incredible likeness. Roby's likenesses are like just, I don't know, flabbergasting to me at times.
On point, man.
But the cool, like the dive happening across, and then
it's so good.
mean, it's such a good composition too. And like
it's so good.
It was for Marcus, and so why did he work so hard on this? I don't know.
Agreed. Strongly agree.
He went pretty hard on that pink crayon too for the skin color.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Rodney was blotchy. Rodney was blotchy. So, fun fact, part of this movie, which is Back to School, and if anybody in the audience has not seen it, see it. Yeah.
Vietnam.
Part of Back to School was filmed in Madison, Wisconsin at the college club downtown. And of course it was the beer drinking, the bar portion. So
of course it was.
Yeah. Fun fact.
If you've never heard Eddie Murphy's story about meeting Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, it's good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Rodney giving him shit, and like 5 years later, after
you're never gonna go anywhere with the racial stuff.
And like 5 years later, he's completely blown up. He's in every film. He's got probably 12 kids by then, all that stuff, right?
Mhm.
And he walks into the bathroom, he's taking a piss, and Dangerfield walks up, starts taking a piss, looks over at him and goes, "Who knew? Who knew?" That was it.
Yeah. Eddie also liked to say that he was wearing a leather suit at the time that he was taking a piss.
There are reasons to go look at this. There's lots of additional images, and we'll leave a comment on this one. This piece was featured on the CAF update this week. Marcus was
Kelly Jones for life.
Marcus was the only one who criticized it. Let's see. Did he say anything in the chat here? This is his piece. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Back to School has RDJ Doom. Okay. So really, what do you guys have any suggestions for the comment?
I think you nailed it.
Oh, that's fine then. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go to the next one. That's a great pick.
I love it.
The positioning of the figures and their posture, especially these top two. Robbie killed it.
Yeah.
All right.
That ass end shot top right.
Here's some really good Jack Abel inks. Wow.
Yeah. This if I can talk about a Silver Age DC piece, I like to. Just
Sorry.
because we spend so much time in this hobby talking about Silver Age Marvel and Bronze Age Marvel and stuff like that. I'm a sucker for Legion of Superheroes, so that definitely doesn't hurt. But these panel layouts, each one of these panel layouts is interesting. I mean, DC is like, these books are wordy, right? So like getting the word balloons like in around the art, like et cetera, et cetera. Sometimes they suffered for that, having to like insert the dialogue when the artist is trying to like feverishly cram in, like Legion of Superheroes has so many freaking characters in it. And you're trying to highlight, like, oh, we need to get, Colossal Boy's butt cheeks in this one. And we need to get, Saturn Girls coming down from the top and like whatever. Arranging all the characters is a feat into itself, but making it interesting and using like, really geometry to do it, like what he's doing with Colossal Boy's leg there in the second panel and the angles of the characters and things like that to like indicate where you need to be looking is just good sequential art.
And that middle panel would have looked awkward and amateur as frack. It would have looked terrible if you didn't nail it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And this is just like, it has like this 60s charm up
totally.
The wall.
And it's so clean, which goes, obviously right along with that.
Mm.
It looks like, I mean, like this is like a Steve Rude tutorial on some level, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I could see him and like Mike Allred having worked a long time to. That's not fair. Mike probably came to this world with this capability, but I could see Allred like really like nailing that aesthetic as well. It's not. I would never describe it as awkward, but there's something like it's almost like they're in water,
floating.
And so everything is just slightly like turned and a little bit off, and yeah.
What's that claw grabbing on that third panel? Is it like a statue of two cats?
It's a statue of two cats. Yeah,
Mm.
you got it on the first try.
See, that's how good the work is.
In all seriousness, I think it is a statue of like two cat-like animals.
Huh.
I'm not playing. Look at the bottom panel when you see it from the back.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
I think if you look in the middle, that's it right there. They're like stealing from that ship.
Oh, but it's some kind of it is a statue though, of some sort. Got it.
Yep.
God, DC, man.
Even in the isn't it sad that in the far future like that, people still have to resort to crime?
Yeah.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah. I wonder if like both those statues are those ones you find in like little Chinese restaurants where they have the little
Lucky
flapping
cat?
arm. Lucky cat.
Yeah,
and it's like it's a $5 trinket today, but like in the future, it's like worth millions of dollars.
You're not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Aiden's been around forever. Leave a comment.
Yes.
This piece was featured on the CAF update this week. Commentary centered on thievery
Of laughing cats.
far future.
I love that there's gonna be like this all these people who are either waking up or like getting emails right now, notifications of like, wow, Castro has never left a comment on any of my art before, and they go to it and it's just him. Just
Long live
clowning.
Lark.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Classic. It doesn't open up. It's too bad.
I know.
And I'm not really familiar with this inker. Sorry.
I wasn't either. That's one of the reasons I picked it. I was hoping that somebody in the chat might be able to offer a little information on Dennis Jensen.
Look how three-dimensional this is.
Right. So Dennis Jensen was like lifting here. Like he's doing some heavy lifting on this page, because
look at
the
this.
first thing I thought of when I saw it was like, man, for Infantino, this is like really detailed. Like those faces are dialed in.
Classically trained artists doing this. Looks like atelier style figure drawing.
Yeah,
whoa.
I could see it.
She got it.
The
She got deep.
I like I like the it's a weird composition. I think it's effective though, and like you're essentially forced to read everybody's like commentary on the flash, and I think it's effective in that way. But for me, it was really about like, this is clearly some kind of a cool, I don't know, maybe Dennis Jensen was like a one and done for all I know, but he really like kicked the hell out of this one.
Sorry, if we click on Dennis, 63 pieces come up. Infantino was, so there are other pages. Here's one that's a little bit more panel action oriented. It doesn't open up. Can't really see it very clearly, but I mean that's like pretty Perez there.
Right below it too.
Yeah, that one, that side view. What else we got? Perez. Here's Perez and Jensen together. Sorry.
Okay. I was just about to ask about what the like high contrast headshot was.
Look at that detail. Holy.
So this is 94, 30 years ago.
Look at the stubble. That's individual dots. Whew.
So we've got a couple of people in the chat saying like he inked Perez on CrossGen Chronicles and on Malibu Comics.
I knew people would know.
Alex Saviak here too. Let's see what he did with Alex. Oh, this is 84. That's dense.
So was the Malibu. Yeah, he's giving it the biz.
Good on you, Dennis.
Yep. Wherever you are.
We hardly knew you.
That's what your comment should be. We love this Dennis Jensen piece.
You opened my eyes to the world of Dennis Jensen.
Yeah. I will say like the 6 headshots, right? It does drive me a little crazy. Like they didn't follow like a pattern. Like if it's like a half moon. Yeah, the way they're spaced, the way like the top are kind of offset this way. Like they could have gone like just a like a half moon, but it's almost like a, I don't know. That does in terms of if, that drives me.
Well, there's tangents all over the place too, and
yeah.
I still like it.
Oh no, the art is beautiful. But
yeah,
it makes you think that some of the heads were done on an overlay or separately, but they're not. That makes me think that even some of these heads were done only by Dennis and not by Carmine. But it doesn't. There's no indication here that they're separate, and it doesn't look from this scan like they are separate pieces of.
I could see
paper.
I think I get that comment, particularly with Firestorm and Green Arrow. The other heads are more Infantino-esque. Yeah.
Steve R. joined September 2016. Nick liked it, and Earl Edwards as well. Gorgeous and powerful. This piece was featured on the CAP update this week. Inking by, is it JENSEN?
Correct.
Greater than.
Yeah.
Is that too much, guys?
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
Is that too much?
I'm not a Kloss fan. No, I like that.
Ooh.
I'm not. The one thing I agree on with Felix.
All
Hey,
right.
I'm not either. Hopefully he's not watching.
He's like, ah! Whips his laptop out the window.
Yeah.
Destroys precious
Ron
original.
J. Muth.
This one would have been an overlap because I was thinking of picking this one.
I don't need to say shit about this. Can
No,
we
it's
just take a
freaking-
minute?
All we
and
need
look
to
at
say is someone went to Alan Spiegel's booth at San Diego Comic-Con.
it? Man alive.
Yeah.
That is where the guy got it from, right?
Yeah,
You
it
get
is.
the third on the additional images.
Sure. Panel 3 detail.
Yeah, please. Wow. Wow.
If I remember right, Steve Niles edited this book.
I think you're right.
Yeah. It's an odd little factoid.
Timing wise, it sounds right too.
Am I just seeing this or like is there green on there? Like
Yeah, there's green.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
No, that's fantastic. You're right. Doesn't need for us to say anything.
I can't say shit about it.
This is how I'm going to do all 10 of my picks.
I feel like one thing I will say is the fact that he was able to, in that third panel, capture not only like a photographic level of realism on the face, but he was able to subtly abstract it by the fact that it's a reflection. That is just some next level drawing.
Oh, is that what it is? He's looking at himself in the reflection of that glass?
Yeah.
Wow.
And once you realize that, and then like look at that face again, especially like the hand.
A little bit of that haze in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the overall page. You might be able to, you get it a little bit more.
Right.
Yeah. That's pretty freaking impressive, man. It's definitely, this was one of the ones that I had kind of shortlisted, and I was like,
And look how
there's like a dichotomy in my house wherein like all the comic art is in the basement, and anything I don't want comic art that's not in the basement. This is a piece where I would be like, we're putting this in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Look how easy he made that hand too.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Also, just like the perfect like Rembrandt lighting.
Yep.
On him.
He foreshadowed the apples too. Look.
Oh yeah, up there on the left. Look at that. How do you like? No.
Wow.
Look at just all these
I didn't
shapes. Just
right.
Shapes.
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic page, man.
The shoulders.
Yeah.
It has drape. This is old-timey shoulder jacket. The cut.
I don't feel like capable of talking about this piece.
Yeah, Jay's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, God Almighty, this is fine art. Yeah. This piece was featured on the CAF update this week.
It stunned Snorek into silence. It stunned all of us into silence.
Okay. Snork was stunned into silence?
Yes, and we all like dem apples.
We all like dem apples.
Dem apples. Cosper's like, is that DEM?
Or apostrophe. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I think it kind of needs both.
Well, you do you. You're the CEO, man. We're just the hired help.
It's my comment.
That's right. I'm not
crowdsourced
Amazing.
comments. We gotta, I think, adding if the show wasn't already 3.5 hours long, adding comments adds a lot of zest to this.
I think it's like it's fantastic.
In retrospect, god damn it, I should have flip-flopped these last two picks.
This one caused some controversy, and let me tell you.
Yes.
Is it a fastball special if you only see Wolverine?
Nope, that's just Wolverine leaping.
Is that a cheat? Is that a Jim Lee 2 character cheat?
Well, hold on, because now one thing that people don't talk about is how far Colossus actually could throw Wolverine. He could throw him a goddamn long way. Now, if you want to talk about the perspective, we don't have a lot to give us a judge of like where Wolverine is. He could be in the fucking sky in this, for honest, for all intents and purposes. Colossus could be so small behind him on the ground. He could be in there.
So the comment on this one should be, how much more would it have cost to draw a small Colossus in the background?
Or just like fingertips. Just fingertips at the edge of the page.
Or should it be, if you can afford this, you can afford a calf premium sub?
Either one is savage and terrific.
Oh God. No.
Brian Arnold.
Hey, what's the cost of a cap premium membership? Like $75?
Yes, yeah, I just paid for mine.
Just say this piece was featured. Cap premium membership is $75.
Oh my
Cap
God.
Premium subs cost $75 a year for now.
Let's see. I'm gonna look. What is it?
Oh my God.
15,000 divided by. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a number? If 15,000 divided by $75, you could have either gotten this piece, or you could have given away 300 free subs
years of
200 years of cap. But you chose to buy this piece instead.
Oh my God! Don't do that. Don't put that.
Yeah,
I can't, in good conscience, watch that be typed.
No, is this okay?
Yeah.
You guys okay with this one? It's my name.
Yeah, I mean, like, really, look who you're talking to. Like, we're not gonna give you good advice.
No.
Somebody liked the comment. Ron Lim liked the comment on his.
Hey, Ron Lim's in the chat. Ron Lim is one of us. One of us.
Marcus said, "Please help pay for the CAF app."
Exactly. We spent way more than all of the money we get a year on.
Kyle said this is his first post.
Was it?
It's his only post.
Good.
Oh,
I think I already said something nice about it on Facebook.
We're going one and done.
What size is this? It doesn't look. It's 11/14.
9 by 12. It looks like a 9 by 12.
It does. Yeah.
How big is? Yeah, mine's 9 by 12. I think that's that size.
I'm sorry.
Antoine Dennison wants to know if the CAF app is live.
Antoine?
Next.
Soon, Antoine. Definitely. We didn't talk about the piece itself. I'm sorry. Did we?
I talked I picked this because I thought, like, well, if Jason's going to be in the chat or James is going to be in the chat, I need to get like one banger Marvel Mutant piece in here.
Right.
This is obviously like a banger Marvel Mutant piece. I did European stuff. I did DC stuff. I did Silver Age stuff. So this is kind of a, throwing a bone to the muties a little bit.
Look, man, he's Jim's Jim. He still got it, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
oh God, yeah.
Freaking dynamic. 100%. It's like just coming out of the page. I mean, we laugh about it or we're talking about this thing right here, but like he's, Colossus or not, that is a dope ass piece of art.
100%. And yeah, I mean, you'd be hard pressed to pick a better character or a character who is like, Jim Lee is in probably, if you ask a Wolverine fan, I'm going to guess that Jim Lee's rendition is in their top 5. I think most people.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And also, like kind of getting to the conversation about what one of those commissions cost. Like it drives me crazy when someone commissions a DC character. Like you're gonna see Jim draw a DC character from now on.
An original.
Yeah, Marvel, man.
That's exactly why I got the Punisher. Thank you.
There you go, man. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. I mean, we'll never see Jim draw a Marvel character again. No. Although he did do that wraparound cover for that amount.
Which is, oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think that was 100K at San Diego.
Yeah.
When did Dan get so impatient?
I don't know, but let's talk about this piece a little bit more. And the rest of the chat can thank Dan Tancredi for the fact that we're talking about this. Let's pull it back up, man. Oh shit. Okay, I guess we're on to my picks. Yeah, so this is Mark Torres, and he's with Jiggy's crew. I started seeing
Damn.
a lot of his art start popping up over the last, I don't know, I want to say 3 or 4 months, and he wasn't on my radar till then. But everything I've seen from this guy is fantastic. It's well thought out. It's got these great little design elements he adds to it. Like, look at the little skulls around death and the Z's and stuff like that. And if you look at his output across, if you look at CAF and what's been posted on there, his style kind of, there's a chameleon-like quality to his style. Like he's got a little Mahfoud in some areas. There's some James Harren in others. The Sandman piece in particular, I'm in love with the composition of it and those design elements. And there's a lot of guys on that crew that get a lot of love and a lot of attention. I think this guy's really
that.
Yeah, this guy's really deserving of it, man. I got he did a cable for me. Well, it was a pre-done piece that I picked up, and it's just fantastic. I just think he's unique. He's got a great style and a great voice in what he puts out there.
So, E, do you think the chameleon thing is like he's ironing it out, or do you think it's like, for this character, I'm going to do this? Because that's a rare thing.
I think he really does pick it based on character and kind of the environment and the mood he's portraying in like different pieces. Like the cable piece that I got, it's very it's not necessarily Liefeld, but there's like, Ian Churchill elements, and it feeds heavy into that 90s aesthetic, which you almost wouldn't say it was the same guy that drew the Sandman and Death piece. But
the reason I ask is like, that's a rare thing,
Yeah.
To be able to kind of jump around like that, depending.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And this one here, man, if you look at it, I mean, there's dry brush, there's all kinds of the Sandman piece. I mean, he's definitely a guy that I have my eye on. Like anytime I see his work, I'm just.
Are you thinking of a character that you think that he'd be good for, or a time period, or an outfit, or a subject matter? Is there something
honestly, like from what I've seen, he approaches like a wide variety. What's that? Yeah. Oh, Ghost Rider was
Cosmic Ghost Rider. Rob.
Ghost Rider was definitely on the Cosmic Ghost Rider. No, that's Robbo's.
Yeah, that's verboten.
Yeah, but he's definitely a guy I'm keeping my eye on.
I love this.
Deserving of some love here. Yeah. Ooh, comment time. This one. Uh-oh. Whose gallery is that in?
I'd love that as a poster on my wall.
It's a great image. I love the fact that like everything is basically about the the external edge of Morpheus's cloak, and all the fun stuff is kind of like confined to that shape.
Right. He's definitely used it as a design boundary.
Yeah, framing element. Right.
Yep. Wait, I didn't read the comment. What did it say?
I went with Snorik. Cloak confined shape is awesome.
Thanks.
Cloak confined is just not anything I thought I'd ever say out loud. I like it. Cloaked confined.
Confined.
Like what it does to my mouth.
Going into the vocab.
I like it. There we go, Torres. Very cool. All right. DWJ,
man. So this is God, it's like everything you would want in a DWJ page, right? That freaking environment, the primary character really is almost secondary to this piece. The environment is a living, breathing thing here. The crowd, the stairs, the ring, everything like that he does well is kind of synthesized on this page. The great use of perspective, that action, the
you
body
can
language.
You can feel the fervor
from
the crowd.
Right. The type on there, like
the type. I don't know how he got away with that type.
Yeah. It's incredible. If you look down at the referee, man, his body language is right up there with anyone working in comics today. The other wrestler at the bottom, kind of anticipating the drop, the ref with his foot up on the rope.
And like, is that a cameo? Is that a DWJ cameo?
I think it is, right? Guy with the hat.
Yeah.
I think it is. And then just the off kilter Dutch angle on the camera work. It's the dude's just he's the dude, man.
Yeah. Dutch angle's fun to say too. It sounds like a sex move.
That's Dutch oven.
Like I gave her the old Dutch angle.
Why are you being so obtuse?
Is that Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes, but also it's a good geometry joke in this instance.
It was.
You know.
Yeah.
He's like an onion. There's a lot of layers.
All brown.
I was gonna say something else, and I'm not gonna say it.
Just keep peeling.
This show's too racial already.
I said we like these onions in a Dutch oven.
Oh, I can't wait till Bill comes back. Do you think Bill's watching the show right now?
Ezra, are you microdosing? Is that what this is about?
We got another like on a comment on the Mark Torres one. That was a team.
Christian Palumbo. Yeah, I think
we're only getting likes on the tame comments.
Okay, this one's just a straight up, just mindless. It was mostly like, holy shit.
Why did Dave Gibbons draw my parents fighting?
I really picked it on a what the hell kind of basis. Like it's a Watchmen cover, and I felt like, out of 12, there's 12 of those suckers. It's like kind of a disservice to not even mention it. But
I mean, it's now seeing the original art like this, it's much more subtle than I remembered it growing up. It was just a graphic image growing up.
Yeah.
Right. And you look at it and it's like, it feels very Dave Gibbonish in terms of that cross hatching on the Rorschach splotch, if you will. But also, I actually don't know what the hell I'm looking at, not just irrespective of the test itself. Are those two pieces of tape that are going over? Is this a poster? And that's a piece of tape? Because when the tape goes over the test, he's rendered it dark, right? Just completely dark. There's no rendering. And if you scroll down, Kasra, you can see wood grain all the way at the bottom of the image, right there. So is it a poster that's taped to a fence?
A fence, yeah.
Yeah. So even more than like what that test represents, I'm just really curious if anyone has an idea of what the image itself is, what the zoom in on it.
Can you show the cover again, Kezra, the secondary image? Yeah.
See?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
And you don't get very much of that mesh.
Oh, you don't get it at all, do you?
No,
I mean, barely.
It's interesting. Anyway, so that's
a Watchmen mystery after all these years.
Yeah. And that's why I picked it. Just because I saw it posted and I was like, nah, that can't be right. And there it is.
Wow. The original's better than the cover.
Yep. Comment time, Kasra.
Amir, I've already commented on this. This piece was featured on the Cap update this week.
Question: what the fuck is it?
It took the place of the cake break.
Chuck says it's a card on the table. And then Matt says that it's supposed to be taped into a file folder.
Oh, okay.
But then, is it really a falcon? Because you see that wood grain there.
Yeah, why is it sitting on a table?
Oh, and then it would have to be taped to the table, then, right? Because that tape goes over the wood grain as well.
Yeah, that doesn't make
Yeah,
any
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not buying it.
Are we saying it's poorly executed?
Maybe it was on purpose. Wait, what does he say? Those are shadows from blinds? What? I think we're just being taken for a ride here. All right, next.
Remember when Aranga divided the chat?
Okay. Spectacular Spider-Man DPS. This is Humberto Ramos. I really picked this because he's got such a distinct style, and you can spot his work from a mile away. And the first time I saw this, I couldn't pick it as Ramos.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
It just looks very different. Now, if you look at Miles, the lower half of his body,
right,
is a little bit like there's some Ramos isms there, but
inked this.
I just thought this was like super dynamic. I love the perspective, curvilinear, going into the horizon line.
Victor Olazaba.
Huh.
Yeah. So
I feel the exact same way. This is like, when I saw this, I thought like, well, is he trying something different? But there are elements, the foot, the hand.
Right. But as a whole, when you look at it, it just doesn't look like anything you would normally expect from him. Of course, it helps that you can't see because he does those expressive eyes for Spidey, and that's an easy spot. But I love the background. I love that the way the foreground kind of curves into the horizon line, keeping it curvilinear like that. I thought it's a great piece. And major points to a guy who's been around as long as Humberto has, still being able to surprise you.
Yeah.
Paul P.
Aha.
He's Mr. Spider-Man. So this piece is featured on the cap update this week.
Who actually drew it?
Reinvention or other conspiracy related to Mexican UFO visitations.
And cow mutilations.
There's gonna be dozens of people that just like wake up thinking Castro was hacked.
I think
the caps doesn't help.
From what I know of Paul, he wouldn't mind that comment.
No, he wouldn't.
Umberto's coming to OAX.
Ooh,
Deadpool.
When Bill's away, the spoilers will play. Deadpool annual cover by Monsieur Trad Moore. This was a period of Trad's work and style that I really loved. I admire what he's doing now, but it's just a whole other animal, almost a wholly different artist from, because I fell in love with his work like during Luther Strode, and this is kind of that perfect area, a little bit more refined maybe than his Luther Strode days, but still maintaining that aesthetic, that design sense, man. I counted 12 weapons on this thing, and there's not a repeating pattern on any of them. Like every one of them is like an individual design. This
is like someone I don't know. I'm going to try to explain this. Okay. I grew up on a lot of Jack Kirby, and this is like someone doing something with Kirby that I would have never, ever, ever expected to see. Like I wouldn't look at this and say Jack Kirby even right away.
Right.
So much of this design and outlay and how compact it is fucking Kirby, but it is so it's pushed somewhere so different.
Yeah, and I see it specifically in that central weapon, whatever it is. It's very Kirby-ish.
Oh, that's
but even like all the guns coming in from off camera, essentially pointing inward like that, is like a Kirby cover.
Right.
Yeah, and this design is very sort of 70s sort of idea of the future kind of design. Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah, man. I think this is in Kavi's gallery, and he must have gotten this at I think he said like he'd had it for a while and he hadn't posted it yet or whatever. But I just think it's fantastic. And like I said, it's an era of Trad's work that is my favorite era of his work.
There's just so much. I'm gonna shorthand language here. Just give me some room, forgiveness. Some of the younger generation of artists, they're remarkably expressive with the figures too. You've got these guys are masked up and their heads and their faces and their expressions. There isn't even a lot of room here. There's some body language stuff going on here. But there's been, it seems, a lot of incorporation of huge talent in character design in video games, manga, and that kind of stuff over the last 20 years. These guys have a faculty with this stuff that's just blows me away. I didn't grow up with this kind of language, and they seem very facile with it.
Yeah. I think
that's pretty well put.
For sure, animation is a great call out because that's really what they're doing, right? Is like these characters they're moving in spite of standing still, and they're emoting in spite of not being able to make a facial expression. Yeah, I agree completely.
And then it's also that entire. I don't know about you guys. I didn't grow up with a lot of like manga and all of that stuff in my life, but distilling is a great word. Like you've taken everything you've learned from there and the expressiveness on a guy like Deadpool without faking it out and drawing a smile or something along his mask and a shadow on his mask. It's great. Plus, look at how loose he rendered, dry brushed on the trees and stuff like that, and so precise everywhere else.
Yeah.
2013, it looks like. Yeah. Does that sound right? That's what the signature looks like.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Before, because he was transitioning out of that style a little bit by the time he started on Ghost Rider, as well, into like what his current style is now. To me, it's almost like a different artist.
Yeah, there's like a break.
Right. From the from the Luther Strode era.
Yeah. I like that. And that's actually, it kind of harkens back to what I was asking about that commission earlier, where some artists do this, right? Like they start out doing one thing and then you see like a little turn or a little tweak. And then like the next time you see them, it's like, oh, that's that guy.
Right.
Like, I guess he settled on like a new style or a style that he, likes.
Right. And, Jay Lee is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
He went from the Bisley style to kind of what he is now, which is more of an illustrative style. They're like two major extremes in terms of that. And Trad's, I wouldn't say he's quite that major, but it's up there. Death and Fables. What the?
This isn't loading. I'm seeing what's going on here.
I thought you were putting a double comment.
I might have just done that. It finally loaded in.
I wonder what.
Lots of Kavi. Woo, Kavi. Oh,
Kavi, go reply.
Talk to him, Kavi.
Okay, Death and Fables by Dajun. And I do believe that's how it's pronounced. I heard him correcting someone at Heroes. So the next time I walked up to him, I was like, "Hey, Dajun, what's up?" Look, this dude is phenomenal, man. This is a mashup of Death and Snow White and Bigsby the Wolf. Even though like the only thing that kind of classifies this as a mashup is he's added the tattoo and the ankh necklace and stuff. Even if it weren't supposed to be Snow White as Death, it's still just a fantastic piece of art. Like the delicate colors, the way he's laid it out, the branches of those trees kind of wrapping around the wolf, kind of rounding the image out. this dude can, there's been some nonsense online about him recently, and that's all you can refer to it as, is nonsense, because anyone who's watched this guy draw at a show or on Instagram, the guy's got the chops. He can draw, capital D.
Yeah, Oranga, you and I talked about him at length on the phone.
I almost spike picked this one, but not really. But yeah, it's lovely work. I mean, I have a piece by him that I got recently as well. Yeah, I think
it does have a little bit of a James Jean feel to it.
A little bit, this one, right? And I don't know if that comes from the subject matter.
Yeah,
being a Fables thing, but I think it's some of that real delicate nature.
Yep.
Of the image plays into that.
Yep.
It's beautiful. Congrats, Matt.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, when you look at it like this as well, the color choices and changes and gradations really come out. He's in control.
Yeah. Yeah. The branches, right midway along the branches, right under Bigsby the Wolf, they're almost like a purplish hue, right? Before going into brown all the way down, so you're going from the blue of the wolf into the purple.
Or like French gray, kind of.
Right.
Your eyes are like this is like divided into 6 or 8 compartments instantaneously with your eyes, and it lets your eyes dance and do things. It's very interesting. If you get a little non-focal on it, it's actually fun to look at.
Well, and honestly, the other thing that accentuates that is so her angle, right? Like her back into her torso down to her hips, like segments part of it. Like the wolf coming over the top is another segment. Yeah, I absolutely see that now.
Right. So well done.
And it's 11 by 17. Honestly, I was a little surprised. Sometimes he's like 18 by 24 is his 9 by 12, right?
Oh, wow.
Sometimes he works in larger sizes.
And that's really lucky as well, because he put in a ton, because his whole thing is for the 11 by 17s, he says he's not able to put in as much detail as the larger images. But for this being 11 by, that's a hell of a lot of detail. So, Matt made out like a bandit.
So this is Matt Kennedy's collection. You make me wish I had 3 claws. Remember that line? You make me wish I had 3 hands. Remember that line from Total Recall? God, I love that line. It's one of my favorite lines. It's the best pickup line of all time. Kabi, thank you, Kabi, for liking the comment. Yeah, that's nice. That one's one of those ones you want to frame and have on the wall. That would look from across the room. You'd be like, damn.
Right.
And in a spot where general population has access to it. You don't need to hide it away.
The living room.
Yeah.
And if you thought Chinese cigarettes were cheap, this guy's cheap.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm talking to him about Comic Art Live and some other things. Who's this hack?
Designing emojis.
We should have a Mannix emoji.
Yes.
Look, he's been killing it on these cover homages, right? I guess he started like a couple months ago putting these together, and they're everywhere now. And each one is terrific. And to me, right, the level of difficulty in doing it like this is his style is so different from the people he's homaging, and yet when you look at it, it's seamless. Castro, if you go down in the additional image, he has the whole triptych on there. Carl actually split them up, so well, I guess you can't see it, but the logos, the lettering, the colors. Wow. If you look at the original Casada cover, like these colors match up absolutely perfect.
Yep.
They match up perfectly. And, Mannix was talking about sometimes he takes forever because he just mixes the colors to try to match up exactly with what the you know, what the tones were like on the original. You know, I mean, I could have picked any number of these.
It's so smart for him to match the color like that, because a
Mhm.
lot of the iconography, a lot of the carryover is from the color and where the color was and how saturated it is. And I mean, he surprises every time. He doesn't just surprise some of the time. Look at the hands.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Well,
it's
look
just
at
everything he does.
textures on Batman.
Right.
If you like noodled over like every inch of Batman.
If you look at the triptych.
Sure,
Yeah.
on the right side. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know what size it is. Is it a 33 by? I guess Jiggy's in the chat. Jiggy, do you know? Let us know if you know what size this is. Is it 3 11 by 17s, or are they smaller?
Doesn't Batman, like, it looks like a thick plastic blow up doll kind of weird texture thing,
or like a NASA space suit.
Yeah, exactly.
61, 62, yeah.
All right, yeah. So 3 8.5 by 11s.
Wow.
It's like Mona Lisa stuff with him. You could have told me it was 3 times bigger than that, and I would have believed you.
Yeah. So I mean, just like even the creator credits, like if this is 8.5 by 11, I mean, what
executing the type at that size?
What kind of torture is it to do that and then color it? And the guy's he's, you know, on top of just being like an absolute sweetheart of a human being, he's the skills on display are just incredible.
What I love is he's like, you know, Casada and its history, all the work's already been done for me. Now I just get to be myself and have fun. And he actually really believes that, and he really embodies that every fucking time. And it pisses me off. It's like this guy can like literally travel around with his wife and his kid, and you have a feeling like he sat down for a couple hours and just banged out a fucking baller every time, and he just goes and enjoys the rest of his day. It's that kind of feeling. It's amazing.
I think it's a fantastic way to live life, man. I think he does it right. I just got to make a quick comment. Jiggy was being like super humble. He said that I made the got Mannix shirts. That's not true. Got to give credit where credit's due. Jiggy made it for everyone who's like a regular buyer for Next Comic Art. So if you didn't get one, maybe you should buy more from Next Comic Art, guys. That's just what I got to say about that.
Carl Choi. This piece was featured on the CAF update this week. Don't
hoping
cry.
For a Zero Ghost Mannix cover.
Yeah. He bought that one right away, right? There is a Zero Ghost variant, right?
Yeah.
And Carl did launch the Kickstarter today, and it went past the goal of 10,000, but obviously they wouldn't be sad if they got a little more.
I want to say it's somewhere around like 15K now. I think by the time that stream ended
this week,
they had a good launch.
Duh. I don't have anything to say. All right, guys. Home stretch is just 1, 2, 3.
There's still more. Oh crap! I must have sent you the wrong link. It's the middle one there. If you look at his latest editions, there.
P. Craig Russell.
Ooh.
Yeah, P. Craig Russell. And if you don't mind, man, would you hit the extra image, which shows the whole thing, because he's bought these as a set. It's the one after that.
Sure.
Boom! There you go. Okay.
Oof.
It's, man, I wish I could see this larger. And again, I like, I'm going to start complaining. I'll shut up. Go ahead.
Man, to me, this piece is design and details, patterns and textures. I mean, look at that curtain in the background with the beads hanging down, and then just, you know, the grade changes there with the light, then the curtain all the way off.
There's some Shawn Ahmed Persian miniature stuff going on with this. Even.
Oh, really? Is that on Dreams?
Partly, but even the staging of like her on the left on a bed and the distance between them and the sparse background, A lot of it compositionally and with the patterns is very, very much like miniature paintings.
Oh, that's interesting.
I never looked it up, but it wouldn't surprise me if he studied them.
I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case, because if you look at on the left side where death is, there's that little table there, and there's that cloth draping off it. Is that like a wink and a nod to like Dali's clocks?
Oh,
yeah,
like it might be
the way the fabric is kind of going on,
because it is odd. Otherwise, it's
right. Right, it just seems a little bit out of place. There's a little perfume bottle on top of it.
It's just like a surrealist sort of nod.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just the dude is just amazing, man, and everything he does, it just there's like a delicate is the only word I can think of. Like everything, yeah.
Well, and what always baffles me about P. Craig Russell is like I feel like I have a zone of like art that I typically gravitate to, right? And a lot of it is like line weight, big things like that. Like I love rendering, darks to lights and like all that kind of stuff. And then like I see a P. Craig Russell and design is a huge thing for me. So that's always a home run with him, right? But the line weight is the line weight is the line weight is the line weight with him. It doesn't vary. And what pisses
sometimes
me
that's
off
very unattractive. Yeah.
It doesn't have to though with him. Like he does this irrespective of that. And that just floors me.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a good way to put it. Like, even if there's no variation in line weight, the way you stack your lines can compensate for variation, for a lack of variation there. I just think like every time I see something that he does, man, it's I spend time looking over it just because there's like a lot to soak in.
Snork, you've seen the illustrator Aubrey Beardsley's work. Aubrey Beardsley,
not ringing a bell.
And if you'll know it immediately when you see it. And I think he takes from Beardsley in that time period a bit. If you look at a lot of the reproductions for a long time, I'm like, why does everything look? I mean, it couldn't look flatter. It's just flat. It's like it's almost impossibly flat. And I thought that they were just bad reproductions, but it was some stylistic decisions. And then when I picked up a little bit of that kind of illustrative language that I was unfamiliar with, I started liking Russell more because I actually didn't like Russell for a very long time. A very, very long time.
Castro, what was the name of that artist you mentioned?
Aubrey Beardsley. Aubrey, Aubrey, I believe, and Beardsley, like Beards, Ley, Sley.
Okay. Gotta check that out.
I'll be shocked if you're not immediately intoxicated by the work.
Well, and it's also probably one of those people you're like, oh, I've seen that 100 times. I just didn't know the guy's name.
So yeah, whose gallery was that in? I don't know.
This is awesome. I love P. Craig Russell.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, pal.
Theoloson,
friend.
Theoloson has been on here forever, hasn't he? Oh, he's Paper Chaser. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, he has. He has a lot of PCR and he's got a lot of Mignola.
You could just be like, I wish PCR would stop culturally appropriating Persian art.
Ooh. Shots fired.
Cultural appropriation is hot.
Is sick.
Did you HAWT?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Okay, guys. Two left.
Home stretch. James Fry and Chris Ivy. Unexpected Moon Knight. Look, here's the thing about James Fry, right? Always kind of sort of thought of as, a journeyman. There's not, I can't tell you anything like a specifically awesome run that he's had. But in the 90s, I felt like he took some chances with his art where he was playing around a little bit and mimicking, maybe not so much on this one, but he was mimicking some of the negative space stuff that Miller was doing. And he just had a lot of interesting stuff for me when I was looking at titles that he did in the 90s. I want to say like there was a couple of issue run on Spectacular Spider-Man with Typhoid Mary, which are just inventive panel layouts and stuff like that. So when I saw this, it was, hey, I feel like James Fry doesn't get enough love. Everything that I've seen of him, like in the 90s when he did that switch up, I loved. And this one's just, it's a hard to read image, to be honest with you, when you first look at it, until you start kind of delving. Like, there's a leg there, there's a hand, there's death like underneath his cloak and whatever. But the dude was trying stuff. And Chris Ivey, it's interesting because Ivey was, I believe, he inked Scott McDaniel on his Daredevil run right before the switch to Hector Collazo. I want to say when McDaniel was doing his imitation of Miller's Sin City stuff. But here, like there's whiteout on the page where he's chosen, to give the texture to whatever it is, the sand or the smoke that's coming out of Moon Knight. I wouldn't necessarily say it's high art, or it's definitely not an example of storytelling you'd pull up to teach that, just because it really isn't that easily readable. But I just think Fry needs to get just a little bit of credit for kind of busting out of his own.
I'm going to say something that doesn't make any sense.
Shit.
This looks like something you draw. This looks like something you'd be influenced by. There's something stylistically about this that I see in some of your work.
I can see that.
Well, that's interesting. I don't, because I guess I shouldn't.
Normally, I wouldn't say something like that without something a little more substantive connected to it. But because, that I love you, you know that I'm not a complete and utter fucking asshole on the inside. I can say something a little bit soft like that. But genuinely, when I look at this, I see some choices, characteristics, some compositional stuff, I
actually see it in the anatomy a little bit.
The anatomy and also the zero fucks as far as like absolute clarity. Like,
sure,
this is a job and you better be clear. No. This is a feel as well. This is a moment as well.
Yeah. Right. Hey, we may have nailed it, man. Like James Fry, my love for him, like he might have been one of my inspirations, man.
Unwitting influence?
Unwittingly, because really that Spectacular Spider-Man issue, I haven't read it or seen it in, I guess, since like I first had it as a kid in like the mid-90s. But I still remember vividly some of his storytelling choices and just the kind of the way he laid it out. And so yeah, this was my love letter pick to James Fry.
That's a great reason to pick it.
And today, when I was looking up other James Fry work, I just realized, and this is another thing, like in the 90s, you don't know what any of these artists look like. James Fry is actually African-American. I had no idea.
Well, that'll go in the comment.
Yes. Did you know?
Fun fact.
Uranga is black.
Oh, I just got a stitch. Oh.
much like James Fry.
Okay. Uranga is black too.
Oh.
You okay with that one?
Oh, dude, go for it.
Okay.
Oh.
The last Ronin,
last one.
42.
I wanted to, give some love to Las Bros Escorza. They've just been like really putting out great work on the TMNT properties, man, and that's really all I kind of know them from. But I appreciate their composition of this scene, much like that. Was it the book was Legion? We were looking at where they were stealing cats.
Legion of
right?
Superheroes.
Yeah. This can be hard to do like central characters, like multiple characters on the page, keeping it in perspective, choosing that perspective, and still kind of, being pretty clear what's going on.
Wow.
Great action. I love those textures and patterns on the half shells. Yeah. The one criticism I do have of this is they didn't really need to throw in that splash. It's not even a splash, like dabs of red on for the blood there. There's not enough of it to warrant it, to make it like a stylistic thing. It just would have been better just to leave it off.
Yeah, it's even weirder in color.
Right. It just
we know those guys are bleeding.
Yep. Yep. And it's just the two splotches, man. Just where they are, the size of them, the way they're kind of going out. It
reminds me of something Jason D'Ambrosio would do to ruin a good time.
What, bleed over it?
Add that little red. I think he's done that before.
Oh, adding a little red?
He added a little red to a piece before. Yeah.
Ooh.
This is the thing was I look at
I know the piece you're talking about too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The like your eyes almost glaze over a little bit by like how much they fit in this.
It's packed.
How some of the clarity that they still managed to keep.
Mm-hmm.
There's still a lot of detail.
Yeah.
The thing that comes to my mind is like if you had, if this cover had come out in 1984, no one would have given a fuck about Art Adams. They would have been blown the fuck away by this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now we're just like, yeah, cool.
We just spoiled it. Like, hey, they did some good work here.
It's interesting. We do have a totally different set of expectations now. We just do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The expectation, that the demand that they had, even just to do a cover like this and this deep and this kind of composition, and I'm troubled by the fact that I look at this and I kind of glaze over it a little bit when I look at it.
Yeah, and thinking of like composing something like this or drawing something like this, like I break out in hives thinking how many places they had to avoid tangents in.
Mm-hmm.
That's impossible.
With the amount of characters, the weapons, the crisscrossing of the tiles or whatever on the floor. There's a million places where you could have a tangent, and at least not on first glance or second glance that I noticed.
I mean, a cover would have been just this figure, this right here alone, this turtle.
Right? Yeah, that's freaking beautiful. And I believe these are the new turtles, right? Because this is from The Last Ronin.
Is that NU?
NU
turtles?
Yeah, that's the name I made up.
Those aren't
look, they don't have their thingies. Yeah.
I can't really say that the color did very much to help it either.
Nope.
No. Also, now that we're looking at it, the pattern on the floor falls apart in a big way.
Oh, so I think I see what you're talking about, but I think it's because that fence line up there isn't in line with your perspective lines, or isn't supposed to be.
Yeah, but behind the guy's arm underneath the turtle's crotch also like goes up a little bit.
Oh, that's true. What if it's not all? What if it's one of those windy Japanese? I'm giving them every opportunity.
You know what? That's not my place. You're right. That is not my place to criticize.
But no, I see. I'm starting to see what you're saying. Once you start looking at the edges, right?
Dave Kopecki, spent some time with him at San Diego.
He's in the chat.
Well, should we tell him to check the tiles? Shit ain't right.
Fire your contractor.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
They're never gonna let us do this again.
Hell no. I want to do this
a one and done
every other month with this crew.
Dave will be cool. Carl's all right with All right. I think that's it, guys.
Oh, Dave said he's gonna tell the brothers that they need to fix it and do work right the first time.
Tell him, Dave.
Please, someone's got to tell him. Okay. All right. I think that's it, guys.
We did it.
11:50. It still took a while. Wow.
Because we were leaving comments and screwing around. I'll tell you what, I didn't know the time going by. I didn't kind of notice it. This was a lot of fun
too. I always come upstairs and my wife's like tired as hell and she's like, "How was your show?" I was like, "It was really fun." I never, I don't think that I sat down here for 3 hours.
Yeah, and Fish was watching us at 1.75x, and I think he's pretty disappointed by how slow we sound now.
Oh,
I can't imagine how high pitched my Scotty accent is at 1.75.
We still did good. We did good, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Aranga. Thanks for coming on, man. That was fun. Thank you so much.
Dude, thanks for having me on. It was my pleasure. It's been a minute since I've been on, and I don't think I've ever shared the screen with this particular iteration of folks. So this was fun.
I never have. I've never been on with Kazra. Honestly, no, never. I've been on with you before.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was for, but it wasn't for picks.
He's just trying to prove he can tell us apart. That's the only reason.
Oh my god!
You notice he went to point, but then he was like, "Oh, this is a bad idea." He's like, "One of them is Aranga."
if anything, Aranga and I look more alike than you and Aranga.
This is actually true.
Yeah,
we're like negatives of each other.
Oh yeah, I'm the token white guy. Yeah,
there you go.
Chris, always. I don't know how you do it week to week to week. I love listening to you. With your picks, it's impossible to be interesting on this stuff more than a couple times, but I enjoy it every time.
Well, I love it. I love the art, and I love flapping my gums.
And you do it well.
Well, thank you.
You do it well.
Snork is so white. If you mix the three of you in a blender, you'd come back out as Snork.
It's concentrated whiteness.
That's probably accurate. That is, yeah.
This is coming from Fish.
That's some deep accounting level analysis. That's not even legal. Yeah. Well, all right, guys. Cool. Thanks for sitting in for a 2 hour, 50 whatever plus minutes chat. I'm sorry I couldn't read the chat at all during the picks because I got the stupid screen up going through.
You had a job to do. You were busy leaving comments and shit.
Right.
Bill, let's see Bill have to do that.
Right. And I know tomorrow I might be canceled tomorrow. I have no idea. We'll see.
This could be the last calf update.
If it is, we freaking went out on top,
Let's
boys.
Hope.
206. We went out on top.
206. All right, guys. I'll stay on. I'll just say hi to you. Bye to you in the background. Right. See you guys.
Hey, thanks to everyone in the chat. As always, appreciate it, guys.
DeTulio next Tuesday. Find out. Oh, by the way, go to YouTube. Check for DeTulio, or I'll post it to you. There's like a hour and a half interview with him and a bunch of this group of girls from a convention. These nerd girls or whatever. He sounds like he's 12 years old. It's amazing.
It's just on YouTube. Send us links.
I'll send you links. I might take some clip. I'll take some. Right. I'll find it.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'll do it right now. Are you kidding? I got nothing to do.
Yeah, if we can defame DeTulio, we got to do it.
Defame. Let's see. Matt DeTulio. Audio.
Everyone who left the chat early, you don't know what you're missing out on.
Okay.
There's still 55 people.
It's a Nerds Are Us interview from at least 8 years ago. There it is.
And I'm really into comic book art. I think that's the future.
Yeah, you won't have to do 1.75x. I think it. There it is.
Yes.
You're welcome. Play it in the background. He's wiry. He's funny. He's endearing. He's endearing as fuck, though. He really is.
I love that guy. That's my bro.
He's
all right, guys.
Okay. Good night, chatters.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.